the all-new 2025 GMC Hummer and go 0 to 60 in under 3.9 seconds for as low as $9.99 a month. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. We are professional grade. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
Do you feel that, Arkansas? The Lotto jackpot is now more than $1 million. Why should you care? Because this million-plus prize can only be won in Arkansas. There are 2 Lotto drawings every week, and the jackpot keeps growing until there's a winner. Join the fun and play Lotto today. A $2 ticket could change your life. Get yours in stores today. Call 1-800-522-4700 for Problem Gambling Helpline.
Archery deer season is almost here, and Infinity Sports and Outdoors has all your archery needs and more. Infinity Sports has top compound bows from Hoyt, PSC, Prime, Darton, Bear, and Elite Plus crossbows from 10 Point, Wicked Ridge, Barnett, and Killer Instinct, all tuned and ready to shoot. Expert bow techs with years of experience are on site to get you dialed in and ready to hunt. Infinity Sports and Outdoors, 3700 Highway 71 North in Alma.
Your home is your biggest asset. So when you decide to add a sunroom, a patio cover, a new driveway, or new windows, you need to call a company you can trust. Sawyers has been part of your community for over 30 years. They're insured, licensed, and have 100% financing for all of their products. Take all the worry out of your next project. Call Sawyers and let them handle it from permitting to completion. Sawyers, serving the River Valley and Northwest Arkansas with a full showroom located in Fort Smith or online at sawyers-sunrooms.com.
When electrical needs pop up, don't get left in the dark. Call the local team that's trusted on and off the field. Harrison Electric. That's who homeowners and local businesses choose. Harrison Electric. Honest, dependable, and they leave no mess behind. From quick fixes to major upgrades, Harrison Electric is your go-to for all your electrical projects. Don't sit on the sideline with electrical problems. Get back in the game with the pros you can count on. Harrison Electric. Honest, quick, trusted. 652-3077.
The proud and honorable men and women of our military are sacrificing their lives and their families for our freedom. Please take the time to remember and pray for our men and women fighting overseas. This salute is brought to you by Garcia Built, LLC, proudly veteran-owned and operated. For all of your residential, commercial, and industrial construction and remodeling needs, call the pros at 479-262-3984. That's 479-262-3984 for Garcia Built, LLC. On the air, saluting our troops.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, lots of sunshine. Our high temperatures this afternoon into the low 90s. Tonight, clear to partly cloudy. Overnight low will drop down in the mid to upper 60s. Thursday, a chance of seeing some showers and storms. Our high Thursday, right around the low 90s. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by Cop CDL Academy. Call them today at 479-632-1050. Cop CDL Academy.
Watches it get out of here. Gackle sits and deals. He struck him out swinging. And this one belongs to the Razorbacks.
Hello, good morning. Middle of the week. Good to be with everybody on, what is this? September the 17th. Wednesday is all I know it as. It's halftime on ESPN Arkansas and hitthatline.com. Phil Elson, Matt Jones, Christian Johnston producing. And over the next 3 hours, we'll be joined by Hall of Famer Grant Hall about 15 minutes from now, and that's it. Our other Hall of Famer usually joins us on a Wednesday. Clay Henry is on a Hall of Fame style outdoorsman trip out to Utah with Coach Lewis Campbell. So it's good to know that we'll have him next week. But Matt Jones, good morning to you. Did I see that this week is the week the Champions League started? Something to celebrate?
I missed yesterday. I'm going to miss today, and I'm going to miss tomorrow. So, yeah, I can't wait to talk about it.
What is going on in your life where you are not watching
Work,
Champions?
Got to drive to Harrison today. Get to drive back from Yaleville tomorrow. So excited not to see Champions League.
Well, you can find a radio broadcast, I guess. Can you follow the sport on radio? Because on satellite, you'd have to have satellite radio.
XM, Liverpool play Atletico Madrid. I did watch a replay of Arsenal and Athletic Club this morning. But it's, Champions League here. They've changed the format totally. I know nobody cares, but they just changed the format where it's a pool of 10 and everybody plays everybody, and the teams with the most points go into the knockout stage where it's a home and home in the knockout stage.
Yeah, well, it should be fun whenever you get a chance to watch it, because Matt's right. We're headed up to Yellville Summit later on today. We'll be at Allen's Grocery tomorrow at the big four-way stop. We had a lot of fun last year, and we're anticipating a lot of fun again doing the same thing. Hope if you're – I love the idea of Allen's Grocery and how they serve a radius of – I don't remember the exact number, but like a radius of 60 miles, even a little more than that. So if you're anywhere within 70 miles or so of Allen's Grocery and you don't have too much going, heck, even if you do have things going on, just come out and see us.
Bring your
tomorrow.
ice chest and load up.
That's right. All the meat, all the you got the $1 Champs chicken tenders that are going to be sold between 11 and 1. So there's that, but don't bring the ice chest for that. All the other reasons too. Man, yesterday was interesting, wasn't it, Matt? All the conversation on the comments from Hunter Yurachek at the Little Rock Touchdown Club got a lot of national play all across the country.
Has your opinion changed as you had another day to digest it? Has it settled any differently now, or is it still kind of the same?
I think it still feels the same. Just a little bit of shock that, and it's not just that Hunter said, it's that any athletic director within the SEC would be as honest as that. I do wonder if you'd see like Zach Selman, who's the Mississippi State athletics director, if he would admit the same thing, because they're in the same boat.
They just beat the Big 12 champion.
Well, they did.
They might be a little better than what we thought.
Well, but even if Arkansas goes and beats Notre Dame in a couple of weeks, which right now for us feels like it's a doable thing, you're still going to be in that same situation where you beat a team that was competing for a national title last year, but yet you're in this wash where now, all of a sudden it's out there that you're not set up to compete for a national championship. So I still feel the same way about it today as I did yesterday. And look, again, it's like whoever you're speaking to numerous groups all at once, especially at an organization like that, because all that stuff's going to end up getting replayed and replayed and replayed. I think there's a lot of fans who don't want to hear it, but also at the same time think, well, at least he's being honest about it and not feeding me a bunch of bull crap. But then I still go back, Matt, to the players and the coaches on this year's team, and then whoever it is that you're trying to get to join you in the near future. And that to me it's not the message that you want to that anybody that's in that locker room wants to hear, or anybody that's also considering Arkansas as a destination for school and football at the same time. So last week, the top pledge for the 2026 class, there was an offensive tackle named Bryce Gilmore decommitted from Arkansas. He was their top pledge for the 2026 class, a 4-star offensive lineman. And yesterday he committed, Matt, to Texas Tech. If you want to talk about a team that's doing it that so-called third way that Hunter got into yesterday, that's exactly what Texas Tech is. That's what they have been doing since, well, we knew the House settlement was coming, and they just front-loaded all those contracts. So I think when you hear Hunter talk about this, he's really pointing out there's some other schools doing this too, but you're talking Texas Tech.
So let's all raise our hands. If you're driving down I-40 and the speed limit's 55, but you know there's not going to be a trooper out that day. How many are going 65? Right? That's what's happening in college athletics right now. And so you have to decide as an athletic director, are you going to get out in this lane that you know you're not supposed to be in and operate without the highest level of integrity, or do you want to stay in these two lanes? And that's where the rub is coming right now in college athletics. Until we get our enforcement agency up and running, you're going to continue to have schools operating in that third lane, and that's a bad place to be, in my opinion. It's bad for college athletics.
That's where Texas Tech is operating. That's where they were operating from before the House settlement was even approved. That's where they were operating from before we realized that this College Sports Commission would be completely defanged and not really be able to regulate the things that it was supposed to regulate. And Texas Tech right now, Matt, is ahead of Arkansas in terms of just being ready for the new era and what is right now the current era of college football. So I see, and I'm not saying that, this kid decommitted because of what Yurichek said, but we don't know what those conversations are like going on behind him. We don't know what's being offered by another school like Texas Tech, which has a billionaire behind them funding the entire athletics department. It's not just one sport like at Arkansas, where you got Johnny Tyson very interested in football and maybe not much else. They're paying $1 million. FAFSA, that's right, basketball. They're paying a softball pitcher $1 million, Matt. I mean, that's all you need to know. So what are they going to pay for a school that feels like they've got unlimited resources? What's the number? $55 million they're spending on this year's team is the guess. What do you think they're going to throw money at a 4-star offensive tackle that they want to get to come to that campus? And it turns out, maybe they're offering something that Arkansas could not offer or didn't want to offer after they'd already gotten the pledge. So you're seeing a school operating in that third lane, Matt, that just got Arkansas's best pledge for next year.
There's a fourth and fifth lane. The fourth lane would be the Doc Emmett Brown lane, where we got to back up because we don't have enough road to get to 88, and where we're going, we don't need roads. Or there's the Thelma and Louise lane, which that's my favorite lane right there, where we can just drive off a cliff.
I don't remember seeing a lane when they drove off that cliff. They basically created their own lane.
Maybe that's what we got to do. Maybe we got to create our own lane.
But that's an interesting area that you put it at. There's a fourth lane and a fifth lane, like you're talking. If you're not going to do it these ways, well, the other thing is to not do it anymore, to give up. That's what Thelma and Louise did, right? They just gave up and went out on the most amazing ride of their lives. So I don't know. It's I just wonder if who it is, where is more effect? Maybe that's the best question to ask about this. To all the disparate groups that we're in on now, what Yurichek was saying, which initially was just to a group of however many people are sitting inside the Touchdown Club, and then gets broadcast out throughout the entire state, and then gets broadcast out throughout the entire country. Who are you talking to? You're talking to your donors, you're talking to your fans, but you're also talking to your current players and potentially your future players. And where is it that you end up getting hurt even most? I wonder if maybe you get hurt more based on the reactions from the current players and from the potential future players, because I think of the other programs that Hunter mentioned along that conversation that are set up to win a national championship. And what do these kids say when they commit to Arkansas for baseball, when they commit to Arkansas for basketball? They say, well, I want to go win a national title. I want to be the first to ever do it at Arkansas for baseball. I want to play for Coach Calipari because he's going to get me ready for the NBA and all those things. What are the kids that are coming to Arkansas about to say? Do they want to win a national title too? Do they want to compete for an SEC championship and play at the highest level you possibly can after that, which is the playoffs? And I just wonder the effect on those kids. Maybe we've seen a little bit of an effect on those kids from those words. All right. That's where we'll start halftime today. Just Grant Hall and you and us throughout the entire show. It's going to be fun today, Matt. It's going to be a lot to get to. And then you and I will convene later tonight up in the Ozarks somewhere and get ourselves ready for Allen's Grocery tomorrow in the morning.
Some Mexican spot, I'd imagine.
Yeah. We'll go to Mexico at some point. But we're going in the wrong direction. It's just, Mexican restaurants are literally everywhere. The Lewis Automotive Hotline will also be open for you whenever you like. 877-337-6666. 888-377-6963. And Hall of Famer Grant Hall joins halftime right after this.
I think it's your girlfriend called.
Text the Lewis Automotive Group hotline, 877-377-6963. Lewis Automotive Group, home of the Lewis Guarantee. Want to let your voice be heard?
Y'all get me going to work every morning, so I appreciate what you guys do.
Send us a voicemail on the Hit That Line app and speak your truth.
Cheering for the other SEC schools is like cheering for the devil because he's in the Bible.
I mean, I would need a six-pack and a catheter.
Leave us a message for ESPN Arkansas after every Razorback game with our Hit That Line Now app.
You guys are the best. I totally disagree.
Man, hey, them hoes can't do no wrong, fella.
ESPN Arkansas, more than just sports radio. Right now, someone... Thanks for watching us here on ESPN Arkansas. Download the brand new Hit That Line Now app in the Apple and Google Play stores. ESPN Arkansas, more than just radio stations.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
It's a dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, Sakhalin.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouth. Some serious crappie. Nice speck.
We got crappie.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite white perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
Man, this takes me back to the 2000s.
All your Y2K favorites are back for only $3 or less. Only at Taco Bell.
Lewis Automotive has been serving Northwest Arkansas for over 75 years and just getting started.
Our knowledgeable sales team is here to find you the perfect vehicle to fit not only your lifestyle, but also your budget.
Our factory-trained service technicians keep your vehicle running at optimal level.
And if you're looking for genuine parts and accessories, our team has exactly what you need.
Relax in our comfortable lounge. And when your car's ready, we'll return it to you spotless.
Thank you for being a part of our story.
Come see us at Lewis Automotive Group, where you're more than a customer, you're family.
Does your Razorback closet need an upgrade? The University of Arkansas Game Day Collection is what you're looking for, only at Roback.com. They've custom designed the best hoodies, polos, and Q-zips for your school. Go check out this and more at Roback.com, and don't forget to use our link for 20% off. Use code RUSH25 at checkout on Roback.com for 20% off your first order. That's RHOBACK.com. 20% off all hoodies, joggers, and more with Rush 25. Roback, where action meets comfort.
Get 20% off on your first order with the code RUSH25.
You don't always win your first bet. That's why MyBookie has you covered. Use our code HOGS, H-O-G-S, and your first bet up to $500 is fully covered. If your pick doesn't hit, you get it right back with our Bet Back bonus. Go to MyBookie.ag and use the code HOGS to claim your Bet Back bonus. MyBookie's, where bettors win together, because bragging's good, but cashing in is better. And your first bet is fully covered. Use our code HOGS.
Must opt in during the bet to use the Bet Back bonus.
Dad, the driver looks dirty. You yucky, Daddy.
Hey, don't worry, boys. That's what we do best. At My Dreams Mo Wash, we make homes, businesses, and even big industrial spaces shine like new.
So you can clean houses and big buildings?
That's right. Residential, commercial, or industrial. No job's too big or too small. Call My Dreams Mo Wash today at 479-763-5561 or visit mjmowash.com.
My Junior's Mobile Wash. One call, cleans it all.
But that ain't getting us nowhere. I told you everything I possibly can. There's nothing left inside of you. And maybe you can cry all night, but that'll never change the way that I feel. The snow is really piling up outside. I wish you wouldn't make me leave here. I poured it on and I poured it out. I tried to show you just how much I care. I'm tired of waiting to watch you shout, but you've been cold to me so long. I'm crying.
Make sure to follow Halftime on Twitter at HitThatLineAR and on Facebook and Instagram at HitThatLine. Call or text 877-377-6963. All guests join us on the Lewis Automotive Hotline, serving Northwest Arkansas for over 79 years. Home of the Lewis Guarantee. Now back to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
It's a Hall of Fame Wednesday on Halftime. We only have one of our Hall of Fame guests with us today, and that's Grant Hall, Hall of Fame sports writer, joining us every Wednesday on Halftime. And Grant, it's good to have you today. What's up?
Well, excuse me, let's start with the LPGA tournament, which is at Pinnacle and Rogers this week, and their Pro-Ams today and tomorrow. They think that it's supposed to get a little bit cooler each day, but it may rain Thursday and Friday. The big news, of course, today, Stacey Lewis breaking the news that this is her last full-time season on the LPGA Tour. She may play different events here and there, but I talked to her and her caddy yesterday because what happened was last week Grant Boone on the Golf Channel had mentioned that she might be, come to the end of her playing career, and they had not heard that, but now Stacey has put it out this morning, So I know you said you'd already read the news also, but I know she practiced 2 hours in 92-degree heat yesterday. Excuse me. And she wants to make this a good one. She says she's making a few more putts. Had a pretty good week last week. Leads the Arkansas delegation, Gabby Lopez, Maria Fassi, Maria Jose Marine, and Kendall Todd are all playing. Have I still got you guys? I just heard something.
Yeah, you're loud and clear here, Grant.
Okay. It's interesting. I talked to Christina Kim, who at 41 still wants to play more. She says she'll know when it's time for her to retire, but she tried to qualify Monday at the Blessings for this thing, and she shot even par and did not make it, but she played with Kendall Todd, who shot 66 at the Blessings to get in this tournament this week, and she hadn't even gone to Q school yet. Kendall finished her Arkansas career this year and is turning pro. So it's kind of a free one for her, She gets to play for the money this week at Pinnacle before even getting her LPGA Tour card or trying to. So, and I think I left out Brooke Matthews too. I saw her. So lots of, I guess, what is that, about 6 people with Arkansas connections there.
What's the old rule of thumb, Grant? You're 2 strokes better each side on your home track. Is that about right?
Well, I definitely think it helped the ones qualifying at the Blessings. That would have been a big advantage, and also at Pinnacle. I mean, Stacey's played here so much she didn't even need to play yesterday. She just practiced in the heat. And course knowledge is a big deal. But it's interesting, Matt, this year on tour, there have been 25 winners in 25 weeks. So no ball winner on the LPGA Tour, and only 2 from America. Jennifer Kupcho, who's here, and Angel Yin. Those are the only 2 Americans who've won on this tour this year. So I'm sure all the ones that and one who hasn't, Lexi Thompson this year, who, wanted to kind of step away from full-time play, but she's played a lot of tournaments this year.
Grant, let's talk a little football. Let's talk about our athletic director and kind of get your thoughts on and kind of what we got to remember who he's speaking to, kind of what was said. When you kind of had time to digest it, what are kind of your thoughts on how that went at the Little Rock Touchdown Club?
Well, I talked to people yesterday, Matt. Some were glad to hear what he said. They thought that he was being candid. Others were apoplectic. That like it was a message to the football team. Hey, you can't win a national championship this year. I've heard there's a rumor that Hunter may be in line for an assistant commissioner job with the SEC. Who knows if that's true or if he would take it. There's this feeling of among people who, let's just say, moneyed interest in Arkansas that they are not going to be one of those teams that can have the money that he's talking about that you need these days to really be competitive in the SEC and nationally. And so that, you hear all kinds of stories about maybe bringing in a new AD and a new head coach, and maybe even taking a year to sort of figure out ways to get that kind of money before. And again, Sam Pittman, he thinks this is one of his better teams. He said that. I mean, I think he wants to coach a couple more years. He'd like to, I'm sure, like to be here next year. But if you do have a new athletic director, I mean, if you're going to have a new head coach at some point, I'm sure you'd like to have an athletic director in place to hire that coach. You see where I'm going?
Well, usually, when you do get a new athletic director, he's going to bring in his own guy.
Yeah, that's right, and sort of look around and get the lay of the land and figure out if this state, if there really are money interests willing to do the kind of what you have to do these days in college football. I mean, Hunter told us the other day that Arkansas already, the money that Arkansas has, it's a lot, but it's not enough to compete with those that are up there, $200-300 million, whatever it is. I mean, we've heard these crazy figures. Hunter told us that Texas Tech, what is it? They got $55 million or something for their roster. Texas about 40, and who knows what it is at the top level of the SEC. So whether there are people out there with the will to do that and try to fight fire with fire, I don't know. And can you tap into those people, find them, and if they want to be part of this thing at Arkansas?
I was listening to him from Monday. I keep going back to a statement that I'll say every once in a while. You don't have to like the world that you live in, but you have to accept it exists, and you have to live within that world. You can't make up, some pie in the sky world where everything's going to be on the up and up. And that's the world that I'm going to live in and operate in because I operate with only integrity, and that's where I come from. I can appreciate that idea, but that is not the world that college sports is. And it wasn't, maybe they thought that was the world it was going to go to, and they were just waiting for July 1st, just waiting so that everything would be fair once again, which, of course, it never was fair to begin with, Grant. So, I mean, it's kind of a conversation that I think people have been having in college football for a long, long time. It's just now you're hearing about this third way, which we all know about, and you can see through the contortions on Hunter's face. He doesn't want to do that, but you kind of have to, and they might be a little bit late to the party on it.
Yeah, given the current circumstances and the people who currently are giving money to Arkansas, would people, if you had a change in those two positions or one of them, would that change? I don't know. I have no idea what it's like to be at that level of money, but that is what I'm hearing discussed this week.
Well, then there's a football game coming up on Saturday against Memphis, Grant, and when you're watching Taylen Green in these first three games, where are you seeing improvements, and do you think it's improvements that he's made specifically, or is this improvements that the coaching staff made with the personnel? Is it being in the offense for a second? What are you seeing from Taylen right now and why he looks better?
Well, I think it's just probably the comfortability. Second year with Bobby Petrino, they're pretty good together. And as Sam said this week, nobody else has Taylen Green. I've always liked him. I think sometimes he fixates on a target. He had those 2 interceptions in that one game in short order. But as far as his running, I mean, what is it, 10, 11 yards a carry, something like that? And, you kind of hold your breath every time he takes off. But that's just a great weapon. And so as long as he's healthy, this team's going to have a really good offense. And then can the defense come along? I mean, that's the question. I mean, I think I read this stat, guys, that 17 of the 25 first downs given up last week by, Ole Miss had, of those 17, of the 25 first downs, 17 were on either one or two downs. Didn't even take them to third down. So that has to improve, obviously.
Well, I expect it would improve, Grant, because I don't know if it could get too much worse from this.
How do you
at least the first half? There was an improvement in the second half, wasn't there?
In Memphis,
yeah, there was, and that's because they were losing the chess match with Lane Kiffin. And so look, let's just go play the way let's play this way, and they cut down on that some in the second half. But Memphis has won 24 of 29. They've got a 6-year quarterback. They've got good special skills people. I see Arkansas is a 7.5-point favorite. This game to me is huge, and Memphis is going to be putting a lot into it. And so, I know everybody's wanting to look ahead to Notre Dame, but you can't do that. You got to win this one first.
Hopefully they're practicing good habits this week, and that's what I was going to say, Grant. Memphis is a lot better team than Arkansas State. You just had a late night game, and you exhausted yourselves putting forth, maximum effort, and you come up a little bit short. And then you get Notre Dame next week. And so it's only, how young kids are, 20, 21-year-old kids. You kind of look ahead. You're kind of, you're looking for consistency, not peaks and valleys right now. I'm a little nervous about this Arkansas-Memphis game. How do you see it going? I think Arkansas wins, but I don't think it's just going to be some game where, and hopefully we start off good, but I don't think it's going to be like a 30-point blowout type of win.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a tough game. I think if you go there and win by 1 point, you celebrate and then start working for Notre Dame, which has its own issues. They're playing Purdue this week, and Barry Odom's won a couple of games there already. So they certainly don't want to go 0-3. But regardless of the records, it'll be a great spectacle. Arkansas has never played Notre Dame. It's about time they did it. And of course you got 2 11 o'clock games the next 2 weeks. So fans are going to have to get ready to peak early.
Hey, Grant, to finish here, I want to go back to where you started about Stacey Lewis. 2-time LPGA Player of the Year, then won a couple of majors, long career. Where does Stacey Lewis stand in the pantheon of great Razorback athletes in professional sports? Because it would seem she would be in that maybe top 10 all time.
Oh, yeah, she's up there at the very top. I mean, what she's done in terms of being a winning Solheim Cup captain, she's got so much respect on that tour. And really, to do it, as she said, when she came here, she wasn't even sure she could play golf. I mean, she had scoliosis, couldn't play for a year. And then to come and really one of the great swings. I mean, Brandel Chambly said one time he thought she had the best swing, man or woman, in professional golf. And I watched her for quite a while yesterday, and she hit maybe a few foul balls, but not very many. I mean, she still hits it great. I think in the last few years, it's been more a matter of putting with her, and she's doing better with that. So I look for her to have a good week this week. It kind of be a celebration of her career, and I hope a lot of people can get out there and see it.
Grant, always appreciate these visits Wednesday mornings. Thanks very much. Let's do it again next week, okay?
Okay, see ya.
Appreciate you. Grant Hall, Hall of Fame sports writer, with us every Wednesday on Halftime. Matt, you check. He said foul balls hit by Stacey Lewis.
He didn't say the other word. You don't say that. You don't say the S word out on the golf course. That's right.
You don't say it? Is that the thing? Maybe that's why about 2 out of every 3 drives I make on the course goes foul, because I use the S word.
Yeah,
what is wrong with me?
There you go. We learn something just a little bit new every time we talk to Grant. I love it.
I mean, sometimes it's you teaching me things. I learned things about how not to tell people where your fishing hole is located. Now I'm learning about don't use the. I'm not on the golf course, so I can say it now, right? Slice is one of my favorite.
Shank.
Slice or shank?
Shank's the word you don't use on the golf course.
It's too bad, because I was thinking of a. Is this Slice even made anymore? Remember that soda that had like a little bit of fruit juice that was thrown in that? Or is that just called Spindrift now?
Contains minus R plus 3% fruit juice.
Yeah. Shank, now I'm thinking I'm ready to eat some lamb. 877-377-6963 to get with us on the Lewis Automotive Hotline. I'm thinking about lunch right now. You might be thinking about dinner later on tonight. Get over to a steak lover's paradise, 46 Steakhouse in Alma. This is when you're craving a perfectly prepared hand-cut steak. 46 Steakhouse delivers a big flavor with every bite. They will always start with those famous hot rolls and honey butter. Then there's burgers, sandwiches, steakhouse salads, pretty much something for everybody, along with their massive 46-ounce ribeye at 46 Steakhouse, 108 Highway 71 next to Harps in Alma. It's where every meal is a masterpiece. And we're back in a moment. This is Halftime.
I knew that was coming. I mean, I don't know what I do with it. Tell me what to do. I mean, I don't know what to do.
This is Halftime.
At the Bet Saracen Sportsbook app, we realize lots of you have thought about opening an account, but you just haven't made that move yet. Well, now's the time with our new player offer. It's easy. You just sign up, use the code WELCOME, deposit at least $25, place a $25 bet, and that's it. Once that bet settles, you'll have $125 in free bets ready to go. Bet Saracen, the most popular sportsbook app in the state. Download it today on all your devices. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Every great team has its core players, but when the season gets tough, adding the right free agent can make all the difference. The same goes for business. At Robert Half, we found that 67% of companies surveyed plan to increase their use of contract talent to handle workload peaks and backlogged projects. With Robert Half's specialized recruiters experience, combined with our award-winning AI, you can quickly find the skilled candidates you want. At Robert Half, we know talent. Discover how we can help at roberthalf.com/talent.
You're listening to Halftime Live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Crabtree RV Center, where RVing is life.
Valley Family Dental at the entrance to Riley Farms provides every type of dental care and procedure for you and your family. General dentistry, braces, implants, same-day crowns, and cosmetics. Dr. Sparkman, Farmer, and now Dr. Blaine Van Nice work to give all of their patients a better life with a better smile. Valley Family Dental, 5901 Riley Park Drive, Suite A at the entrance to Riley Farms. Let them know you heard this on ESPN Radio and receive $300 off a snore guard. Valley Family Dental, 479-226-3500 for an appointment or visit valleyfamilydentalpractice.com.
Summer is finally here, and so are the road trips that you've had planned. That's why it's time to visit us at Southern Tire Mart. Southern Tire Mart's expert service, competitive pricing, and top quality tires will ensure your vehicle is ready for all your summer adventures. Visit us in Fort Smith at 9700 Highway 271 and let us ensure your vehicle is prepared for the summer. Southern Tire Mart is a proud dealer of Yokohama tires. Southern Tire Mart. We keep America rolling.
Looking for power, comfort, and performance you can count on? The New Holland 300 Series Compact Track Loader delivers all three. Backed by reviews from operators who say it's the smoothest ride and best visibility in its class. And right now at WT Equipment, you can choose 0% financing for 60 months or take advantage of big cashback offers. Built to perform and made to last, the 300 Series is ready when you are. Visit WT Equipment and experience it for yourself.
Got a pest? Call West. If you have pest or termite problems in your home, call West today and learn how their 50 years combined experience can help solve your problems with competitive pricing and quality services, all designed with your pets and children in mind. Call today and schedule your free estimate. They even offer Saturday services and long life attic pest control. Call 782-7291. West Termite and Pest Control, protecting your home health and peace of mind.
Who can you trust to sell your home for the most money with the least amount of drama? You need a team of agents with decades of experience, commitment, and of course, tens of thousands in marketing. I'm talking about the Limbird team. Tara Limbird, Limbird Real Estate Group, has sold over $1 billion in real estate. Tara's team can give you a cash offer in 72 hours, or use Tara's high-octane marketing to sell your home quite possibly for thousands over asking. Find out more at LimbirdTeam.com. LIMBIRD.
Do you need closure on your garage? Call Grit Garage Doors. Whether it's a new door, a squeaky closing sound, a broken spring, or just off track, Grit is who you can trust. Call Grit. There's no door Grit can't close. Local team, local service with honesty and integrity. Call Grit Garage Doors. 479-430-3667. That's 479-430-DOOR. Grit is who you can trust.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game.
ESPN 95.3.
Well, I remember every little thing as if it happened only yesterday. Walking by the lake and there's not another car inside. Getting any better than you did. And all the kids at school, they were wishing they were me that night. But now I'm come on, hold tight, come on, hold tight.
Welcome back to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones. Got a question or comment for the guys? Call or text 877-377-6963. All guests join us on the Lewis Automotive Hotline, serving Northwest Arkansas for over 79 years. Home of the Lewis Guarantee. Let's get back to the show with the voice of Arkansas Razorback baseball, Phil Elson, and Razorback football legend Matt Jones.
All right, I think there are 3 members of New York Yankees all-time roster that have been featured in songs that made the top 40. And one of them would be Joe DiMaggio, another would be Mickey Mantle, and then the third would be on this song. I wonder if anybody can text in and tell me the former New York Yankee who did television for a long time and then was famous for some commercials for a place that would give you money called the Money Store. If you remember who might have actually been on that song that you just heard coming back from the one and only Meatloaf. Are we getting Meatloaf? There's 3 Meatloafs in the first hour of the show.
What's wrong with Meatloaf for lunch?
Nothing.
Yeah.
I love Meatloaf.
We might get a little cake for dessert, little Meatloaf for lunch.
I'm trying to think of a third band that I like that's named for food.
Cranberries.
Could let that linger a little bit if you want. Why not? 877-377-6963 for the Lewis Automotive Hotline. Did you hear Grant mention there? Some folks think Hunter Yurachek is going after this Associate Commissioner for Football job at the SEC, I guess. SEC had released this job description, I think, a few days ago about the Associate Commissioner for Football. This is right off of their tweet about it. Provides leadership and oversight for football operations, policy, and stakeholder engagement within the SEC. Serve as the conference's primary liaison to head football coaches, football administrators, national organizations, ensuring alignment with the SEC mission and responsiveness to the evolving collegiate athletics landscape. Responsibilities would include football competition standards, policy advisement on national governance issues, enhancement of officiating and scheduling practices, and advancing student-athlete welfare and program integrity. Almost sounds like a general manager for football for the SEC. Here's why I don't think Hunter Yurachek will be going after that job. He makes, I think, $1.5 million as the Razorback athletics director, and when your job has the word associate next to it, you are not making $1.5 million. In fact, you're probably making about $1 million less. If it was just the assistant commissioner or just the commissioner for football, maybe I could see, trying to get out and get that job. But I don't think he'd be taking that gig for $1 million less than he makes now, or even $750,000 less than he makes now. So I don't know. I don't think that's happening. Michael in Huntsville said, let's not forget about Cake. That was the second band that Matt had mentioned there. Cake, absolutely. And in fact, if we're going to play Cake on a show where we're doing all food, wouldn't that be the last band you play?
Hour number 3.
Of course. I mean, here's the thing too, like Cake is one of my favorite bands and I don't like to eat cake. One of these people, and Matt, I am not, you know me, you've eaten plenty of meals with me. I am not picky. I will eat just about anything that you put in front of me As long as I know what it is. Like, I need to know what it is. I'm not grabbing something that looks mysterious and have no definition of exactly what it is and putting that in my mouth. But if you can detail what it is, you don't have to tell me what it tastes like or how you cooked it. I just have to know what it is, and then I can eat it, except cake. There's something about it. I don't know. I just don't have a thing for cake. Pie, ice cream, all sorts of other dessert thingamajigs, except cake. Like, cake's got to have ice cream with it, so I'll just go with the ice cream first and foremost. Now people want you to play the Red Hot Chili Peppers, Matt.
We could do some chili peppers in the second hour. We're doing meatloaf for lunch until it gets noon, and then we're doing cake in the third hour. So, yeah, whatever your suggestions are in the second hour, if you want some chili peppers, you want some cranberries.
Cranberries would have been good for breakfast.
We can, little aperitif. We get it going on.
Sounds good. Sounds really good. I was looking at some of the numbers. Did you know Taylen Green is going to be the guest on the official Heisman Trophy podcast released today by the Downtown Athletic Club, and he leads the nation in total offense right now, 391 total yards of offense. It is time. Well, we're not the only ones to do it, but it's time to start talking about Taylen Green's potential to win the Heisman Trophy or where he may fit into it. Now, admittedly, you're probably facing some better defenses in the future. I don't know if I'd say this week would be one of them, but Notre Dame, I think, might be, although Notre Dame giving up 41 to what looks like a good A&M offense. Tennessee's going to have a better defense, I think, than Ole Miss. I think Auburn might, too. It looks like they may be better defensively. LSU looks like a defensive-minded team right now, and certainly Texas does as well. So it's nothing more fun than putting the cart before the horse when it comes to these things, but at least – I mean, it's right there for you. He has 391 yards per game, and John Mateer of Oklahoma is second. And Matt, he's like 23 yards per game fewer than Green right now, and he's got a tough matchup against Auburn this weekend. But you know, if you are in the top 5 of total offense and you're a quarterback, you're playing in the SEC. That's the other aspect here. You're going to get some votes. It's just a matter of staying up there and staying at the level that he's played over these first 3 games.
So excited for him. I mean, how cool. You know, I've been a Taylen Green fan since I've seen him, and been saying how long he's been here that he has the ability to be a top 4 quarterback. You're seeing it come to fruition. He's been a joy to watch. He's been the best player on the field in the Jamboree, and then the step up, and then a real game. So he's man, keep him healthy, and let's see what type of numbers he can put up. Lamar Jackson, I think Petrino had Lamar Jackson. They lost 4 games that year, and he won the Heisman. So usually you don't get to lose 4 games and win the Heisman.
Right.
And so if we win, oh, man, and we said this, I think I said this last week, if Taylen Green played at Texas, he'd be the number 1 pick right now for the Heisman. But he plays for Arkansas, and so it's, if Darren McFadden didn't win the Heisman at Arkansas, I don't know. It's going to be – I'm not saying it can't be done. It can be done. Travis Hunter won it at Colorado. You know, you can win the Heisman at Arkansas, but if Darren McFadden didn't win the Heisman at Arkansas, it's going to be tough.
And so much of it does have to do with the number of wins your team has. Even though for Green, it ain't his fault that they lost that game. You know, he said that was his 4th career 300-yard passing game. He's lost 2 of them. Oklahoma State last year, and then Ole Miss this season. That's not on the quarterback. That's on the defense. That's on the 1 fumble. It's on those things. And, man, you got to think about his ability to get to the total offense record at Arkansas, 3,795 by Ryan Mallett. That was a negative rushing territory, too. And he looks like he's on pace for it. But then again, 3 games in, Jamboree's one of them, Arkansas State's the other, and an Ole Miss defense that isn't as good as last year is the other one. So got to take some of these rankings with just a little bit of salt right now. Marcel Reed is 8th. Joey Aguilar is 12th. Bo Pribula is 24th, and the quarterback Memphis has, Brendan Lewis, is 45th in total offense. And then here's some guys that were pushed as first-round picks, Heisman Trophy front runners. Arch Manning, 73rd in total offense. Garrett Nussmeier, 78th. DJ Lagway is 80th. But again, 3 games in, these rankings will have a lot more meaning in probably 3 weeks, I'd say. Here's Kevin and Rogers on the Lewis Automotive Hotline. Good morning, Kevin. How are you today?
Hey, it's been a little bit, hasn't it? Sorry.
It's
How are you
okay.
guys
I was
doing? Hey,
counting the
Matt.
days. Counting the days,
Yo,
Kevin.
what's up, bro?
Yeah. Hey, I'm still sticking with the 9-3 prediction. I'm not giving it up.
Hey, we can
I'm
win
gonna
these
stay
next 2
loyal.
games. We can beat Memphis and Notre Dame.
I was really hoping I was going to call you when we were 3 wins in, which is the third of 9, and we didn't get it done. But that's okay. I mean, but I want to talk about the schedule a little bit. I do want to make a comment about Hunter Yurichek and his comments. I don't really think we need to be focused on that at this time of the season. We've got a lot of football to be played. I know a lot of people don't like his comments. Some do, some don't. I'm not going to get into that. I personally think he's done a good job with the, as an athletic director. But I'm a heavy basketball and baseball person also, and I do care about women's softball. So a lot of that. I'm not gonna. I'm sure you guys have disagreements with me on that, with what he said. Bill, I'm sure you do, and Matt. But I'm not going to get into that. I just think we just need to play football and not worry about it. Regarding the schedule. And I do want to say this about Taylor Green. And I'm a huge DJ Lagway fan, and he may be a great pro quarterback down the line. But if you look at all the quarterbacks that were ranked ahead of him to start the year, and I really thought about this the other day, I'm talking about the kid at Texas, some of these others, and, DJ and all these. These guys are first-year starters. I think we're seeing what happens when kids stick around for a couple of years, in the same system, and how successful they can be. I mean, Kirby Smart did that with average-type quarterbacks, but they stayed with him, And he had some pretty big quarterbacks sitting on the bench. Justin Fields and all this, he goes, I'm going with my experience and what I know. So I think Taylor's having a great year. I think the game that is a must-win for them on the schedule to go 9-3 is the Tennessee game. I think that's the kicker because I think that will be a high-scoring game. I think both defenses are a little average to below average. The two losses that they are going to be that they'll have to deal with if they lose are the 2 best defenses in the SEC that I've seen play so far. I think there's 3. I believe Florida is a very salty defense, but I believe Texas and LSU do have the 2 top defenses in the league because of the quality of competition that they have played. And they haven't given up a lot of points. But that's, other than that, guys, I just wanted to say hi. And, always remember the most important game is the next one. We cannot let a hangover. If something happens bad at Memphis, this will probably, and Matt, I don't know if you agree or, Phil, it may domino into a bad season.
Oh, yeah. You lose this game, Kevin, then there's an effect from the week before, and then you see potential downward spiral, and then all hell can break loose, and then it's cats and dogs living together. Mass hysteria. 877-377-6963 for the Lewis Automotive Hotline. Right up against the break. We're back in a moment.
To win games, you have to win the game, not lose the game, honestly. And that is how you lose the game.
This is halftime.
Up to $11,000 off on select GMC Sierras at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. The GMC Sierra will conquer the road with confidence. Up to $11,000 off or take 4.9% for up to 84 months. Lease the all-new 2025 GMC Hummer and go 0 to 60 in under 3.9 seconds for as low as $9.99 a month. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. We are professional grade. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
The Bush Guide, cold and smooth survival skills. For a successful stint in the great outdoors, pack accordingly. Place heavy essentials near your spine for stability in rough terrain, with light items near the bottom. Now, you may be wondering, where does the Bush Light go? In your stomach. Head for the mountains. Enjoy responsibly. Copyright 2023 Anheuser-Busch Bush Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Do you need closure? On your garage, call Grit Garage Doors. Whether it's a new door, a squeaky closing sound, a broken spring, or just off track, Grit is who you can trust. Call Grit. There's no door Grit can't close. Local team, local service with honesty and integrity. Call Grit Garage Doors. 479-430-3667. That's 479-430-DOOR. Grit is who you can trust.
Locally owned Lumber One can handle all of your building needs. They've built their business on having great relationships with everybody from contractors and builders to the everyday build-it-yourself. Lumber One is a full-line door shop to handle all of your door, window, and trim needs. And along with lumber, roofing, and drywall products, attic wall and floor insulation is available. Lumber One also does blueprint takeoff with access to design services with estimates available. So go where the pros go. Lumber One, located on Industrial Park Road in Van Buren.
If you or a loved one experienced emotional distress due to slow internet 25 years ago,
Taco Bell believes you're entitled to a delicious escape. The Cool Ranch Doritos Locos Tacos, 7-layer burrito, caramel apple empanada, and more. All $3 or less. Claim 5 returning faves and relive what you love from the 2000s. You already suffered dial-up? Don't wait any longer. Experience Taco Bell's Decades Y2K menu now. At participating stores for a limited time only while supplies last. Price of participation vary. Tax extra.
Since 1992, the Inn at the Mill has welcomed guests to experience the most unique place to stay when visiting Northwest Arkansas. Centrally located at the Johnson exit off I-49, the Inn at the Mill has established a rich tradition of comfort, convenience, and value. Whether it's the big game, business travel, a trip to Crystal Bridges, or a weekend getaway that brings you to Northwest Arkansas, the Inn at the Mill has a spacious room with ample space to spread out. And when I'm there on business, I appreciate the fast, free internet to keep me connected to work and the laid-back European-style breakfast to start the day. Experience unique and different at the Inn at the Mill, just off I-49 at the Johnson exit. Call 479-443-1800 to make your reservation. That's 479-443-1800 or visit innatthemill.com. The Inn at the Mill, where the past meets the present.
Are you an electrician that's looking for a smaller, non-corporate job? Well, I'm here in studio with Sloan Walker of Sloan Electric, starting 40, 45 hours a week, anywhere from $20 to $28 an hour, depending on the experience.
Yeah, that's all correct. We offer competitive pay. We have 6 paid major holidays. I'm working on some other benefits to go with those for my current employees and future employees. Best way to get in contact with me is just give me a phone call or text at 479-461-4302. Sloan Electric. We can power up together.
Call or text the Lewis Automotive Group hotline, 877-377-6963. Welcome back into halftime, live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Crabtree RV Center, where RVing is life.
As we wrap up our first hour in our meatloaf segment of halftime on this Food Wednesday show, I'm going to figure out something else for it. But Phil Rizzuto was the Yankee that was on that song, what is it, Love by the Dashboard Light? And he's doing a little play-by Paradise by the Dashboard Light. He's doing a little play-by-play for, isn't it an Inside the Park home run? The Scooter is the name.
I gotta know right now. Let me sleep on it.
We get Matt Jones to sing every few months. There'll be a few lyrics that get thrown out there like that. I need you to do the Rizzuto part of it though. If I could get Matt Jones to sound like Phil Rizzuto, I don't know if you could actually pull that off, but maybe a little rehearsal might help out. 877-377-6963 for the Lewis Automotive Hotline. There's just a quick reaction to Kevin's call a moment ago. I understand the idea of the first-year quarterbacks maybe needing a second year within the offense to get a little bit better, but I also think, I don't know if these are just outliers or if maybe this has something to do with being talented and in an offense that fits you a little bit better. Bo Nix, his first year at Oregon after leaving Auburn, he was decidedly better. He was a lot better the second year at Oregon, but leaving Auburn and going to Oregon, he got better immediately. Cam Ward, really good at Washington State for 2 years, better in Miami his 1 year. Caleb Williams, he made a huge improvement his first year at USC. Jaden Daniels did the same thing at LSU. So, I can appreciate the idea. I do think that Taylen Green is one of those quarterbacks who's better here because it's the second year under Bobby Petrino. But I also think that his talent and the amount of games that he's played and his age and maturity has a lot to do with it as well, just like all those quarterbacks I had just mentioned. And the other aspect of it, the whole Hunter Yurachek thing, if we're referring to the idea of we don't need to talk about this, yes, we do. The players and the coaches don't need to even see anything about that. The fans and the media, yes, that's something to discuss. Back for the second hour in a moment.
All right. It's a beautiful day for football here at the stadium, and we're just about ready for kickoff. Score 0-0. And suddenly, I'm in the mood for a Coke Zero Sugar. Real Coke taste, zero sugar. Now that's a winning combo. Yeah, crisp, refreshing. That hits the spot. When it comes to great taste, Coke Zero Sugar's always on the scoreboard. Coke Zero Sugar. Real Coke taste, zero sugar.
If the 25th is the silver anniversary and the 50th is gold, what's the 75th? Well, that's the fresh beef, onions, pickles, lettuce, tomatoes, fries, and drink anniversary. Everybody knows that. Get the #1 water meal for $7.50 in honor of our 75th anniversary. A meal like that is the way you're supposed to celebrate a 75th. The Whataburger 75th Meal Deal. Whataburger, what a deal. For a limited time at participating locations.
90 years. That's how long the Hug family has been a part of this town. Through dust bowls, downturns, and drive-thrus, we've been right here, selling trucks to grandfathers and now their grandkids. Because it isn't just about cars. It's about connection. We're proud to still be your local GM dealership after all these years. Hug Chevrolet GMC, since the beginning, still right here.
Arkansas Fuel Injection in Fort Smith has been providing quality work for all new and rebuilt diesel pumps and injectors for over 25 years. They are a certified diesel shop with a team of quality technicians that ensure the highest quality workmanship and warranties all their work. They're open Monday through Friday 8 to 5 and has emergency service available 24 hours a day. For all your diesel pump, fuel injection, and parts need, stop by Arkansas Fuel Injection, 6300 South 29th Street, Fort Smith. Call them today at 1-800-817-7709. Arkansas Fuel Injection.
Are you tired of bulky, embarrassing dentures? At River Valley Smile Center, we offer fixed hybrid dentures, a permanent solution that looks and feels more natural than traditional dentures. They're secure, comfortable, and never come out. Most procedures can be completed right here in our office with sedation. No need for referrals. With state-of-the-art facilities, advanced techniques, and digital workflow, we provide the best possible outcomes. Financing is also available. Call us at River Valley Smile Center today at 479-646-0706 or visit us at rivervalleysmiles.com.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, lots of sunshine. Our high temperatures this afternoon into the low 90s tonight. Clear to partly cloudy overnight. Low will drop down in the mid to upper 60s. Thursday, a chance of seeing some showers and storms. Our high Thursday, right around the low 90s. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
Weather is brought to you by Cop CDL Academy. Call them today at 479-632-1050. Cop CDL Academy, expanding horizons.
KERX Paris Fort Smith. This is Halftime, coming at you from the Crabtree RV Studios on ESPN 95.3. Coming to you live from the Crabtree RV Center Studios.
Broadcasting on ESPN Arkansas and streaming on hitthatline.com.
We got a good one tonight. You got a team in here that doesn't respect it. Ask me if I'm all right. Why can't they dominate? And we not doing it.
We're going to go get one and celebrate on somebody else's field.
Yeah. Take it to the house.
People said you had very motivational words at halftime.
It's Halftime with Bill Olson and Matt Jones.
From the bottom of my toes to the top of my head. What's my heart, dog? Let's go, man.
The angles were so bad, we showed them at halftime.
What they were one race back.
Like, what in the world were we thinking?
It's vintage Matt Jones.
Call or text 877-377-6963. Now, here's Phil Olson and Matt Jones.
Back on halftime, 12:01 in our second hour. This is ESPN Arkansas and hitthatline.com. Phil Elson, Matt Jones, and the C-Movie producing. Calls and texts on the Lewis Automotive Hotline, as always, 877-377-6963. So usually when we'd be welcoming in Clay Henry for a couple of hours, but Clay is out in the great frontier of the western United States for the remainder of the week. So no Clay, we'll get him back next week. You can get with us anytime, though, and we'll love to converse with you. We've been playing Meatloaf in the first hour. It's going to be all food bands. Some folks, Matt, have sent in Limp Bizkit, Cake, Humble Pie, Fish. And then one gentleman said, depending on where you live, Seal. You might play Seal, although I've never eaten that before and really don't have the taste for it anyway.
You know, your boy Freddie Durst, not a fan. Never do I ever go on and put on Limp Bizkit anywhere.
You don't want to put that red Yankees hat backwards?
But
they're back. I hear they're back on tour.
Good for them. I'm glad they're making music.
You are on their side.
And I really hope that they, get everything they've ever dreamed for.
Should the food be spelled properly in order to actually get on the list? Because Fish wouldn't be on the list, and Limp Bizkit, that's not spelled properly either. So
we're gonna play some bread. We're gonna play some cranberries. We might play vanilla fudge. We might play chili peppers, and then we got 3 cake songs in the third hour. So
does Vanilla Ice count?
They're Snow, the Informer.
I know you've played that before. Corn. Corn is spelled improperly. Can't do it. Can't do that one. Chris doesn't want bread, but I actually like bread. David Gates.
Just don't live next to a bread factory. Then you might get a yeast infection.
I don't know, but it smells pretty good. People will eat snake. Yeah, white snake was just sent in. I'm not sure if that.
Never, ever in the history of my life will I ever turn on a white snake. That's not a thing that will ever happen.
Was that David Coverdale's band?
Don't know.
Would you eat snake? I've never eaten snake.
Survival situation. I hope we don't have to make it to where that's where we're at in our life, Phil. But that's
Yeah, I got to go in the backyard for the next 20 minutes. Unfortunately, Matt, there's a snake out there, and I'm going to go get my shovel. And get dinner ready for later on tonight.
See, that's just
Ew, it's nasty. Smashing Pumpkins.
Yeah, we play Pumpkins all the time. We
that's
played
always
Pumpkins yesterday. Yeah, I celebrate their entire catalog.
That is always on.
So have you seen? I don't know what it's called. Like Bill Maher does that. Something like the Cotton Club or whatever they call it. And but he had Billy Corgan on not too long ago talking a little bit about politics and worldviews and what's going on.
I'm sure he's got some interesting views. I would assume, Matt, you probably wouldn't play Black Eyed Peas either, but we had somebody just
my
send
humps,
it in.
my humps, my humps, my lovely lady lumps. I'm gonna get you drunk, you drunk.
See, there
we'll
you go.
dance to one song and one song only. Nobody knows what it means, but it's provocative.
Twice in the same segment, Matt is singing. It's like now it's Karaoke Wednesday all of a sudden.
Well, that's I cite my work. That's Blades of Glory, Will Ferrell right there. So it's not me.
You never do take credit for lines that you didn't create yourself. Rusted root. Jacob says that. It's just if the root is rusted, then it's gone bad. So we're not eating that. There's a Pittsburgh band for you. Always enjoyed them. I thought maybe now would be a good time for a pop quiz for our friend, the C-Movie, since we haven't done one of those in a while, and I'm not sure what it is that we're going to sign him for the later on in the week. There's going to be a Redford movie maybe, but I also thought, well, let's just go through this here because Eminem is not a band, Scott. M&M, would that work? Eminem? It's not the M&Ms. It's not actually the thing that's on the candy.
Another person or band I don't have any problem with, but never ever will I get in the car or get somewhere and turn on an Eminem song. That's not a. But if you listen to that, that's cool. I'm not against it, but I never ever do. Hey, you know what I'm gonna do? No.
Cajun said Pearl Jam would fit. I don't think that's actual.
Don't ever turn them on either.
That's not actual food.
I don't eat dog neither, Yeah.
I remember reading about why the band is actually called Pearl Jam, and I can't get into it here, but it's not food that you get at a restaurant. Salt and Pepper one of the great rap.
Their first
groups.
album was named 10, and that's off of Mookie Blaylock. So I much love for that. That's probably the best thing they've ever done. And Portlandia, they got a couple cameos and a couple Portlandia skits that I'm a Portlandia fan.
And he loves baseball too. So I mean, he's at least as a Cubs fan that can work. Salt and Pepper might actually work. That would be What a Man. No reason to wrap
Don't go
that
chasing waterfalls.
TLC. That's TLC.
Oh.
That's not food. We can't play them today. That wouldn't work. All right, who were the 4 Beatles? See movie.
Pete Best,
John Lennon,
Mm-hmm.
Paul McCartney, George Harrison, Ringo Starr.
He's got it memorized by now. It only took 2 years. See movie. Which of the following is not a Beatles song? Hey Jude, Strawberry Fields Forever, Stairway to Heaven, I Saw Her Standing There.
Stairway to Heaven.
Wow, he's doing really well, Matt. I feel like we might actually be breaking through.
Who sings Stairway to Heaven?
Forget what I just said.
Is that all the glitter?
It could be food. His last name has something to do with food.
This the lead singer of the group.
Yeah,
in fact there are some burgers that are made through this.
It's not Jimmy Paper, but it's
blank based burgers.
There you go.
Led Zeppelin.
Who's the name of the singer then?
Robert Beyond Meat.
Robert Impossible. Yeah.
Robert. I used to think his name was Led Zeppelin.
That's right. It's just like Pink Floyd. I mean, the lead singer of Pink Floyd is
Robert
Pink.
Plant.
That's right.
There we go.
All right. Oh, Full Metal Jacket. Who directed the movie? These are all things that he's seen or heard because we asked him to.
He did the movie Eyes Wide Shut, I believe, too.
It rhymes with Transis Flopola.
Stanley Kubrick.
Yeah, see, he didn't do Eyes Wide Shut.
Too bad.
I stared you the wrong direction. Steve.
I know. I
That's
stared
my
him in the
fault.
wrong direction. I just went with the wrong one. It is exactly who you said it was. Who wrote the book Carrie? Since that's the last one that you actually saw. Let's see. Who would be married to a queen?
Who would be married to a queen?
Yeah. Charles in England. What is he? What's his title? Matt, I think I'm going to be done for the show for the rest of the day. I think I'm done.
Prince.
King Charles.
Or King.
It's Stephen King. That's who wrote it. Yeah. All right. And he already named us one Led Zeppelin song, and it's Stairway to Heaven. There's a lot. There's a lot to go off of here, Matt.
It's better though. We're tracking progress right now. It's a work in progress. We're tracking progress. It's not like your boy Dabo Sweeney. It's not a final exam in the first week of the season, and the other team has all the answers. We still got time. We still got time.
That was a great comparison.
Well, then maybe we could just get rid of C Unit and go back to what was there before, right? Like that's time, Christian, for you to start threatening to leave and go produce another show, just like Dabo yesterday.
I will turn this car
They
around.
want me gone. If they tired of winning, they can send me on their way because that's all we've done is win. So if they tired of winning, we've won this league 8 out of the last 10 years. Is that not good? I'm just asking. Is that good? I don't know if that's good or not.
See, this does show that Dabo he can get with today's modern culture. This is how kids speak. This is exactly how that is. That good? I don't know if that's good. Thought that was good.
To win your league 8 out of 10 years, to go to the playoffs 7 out of 10 years, to be in 4 national championships, win it twice. Yeah,
Waiting for him to drop a bruh in there.
we a little down right now. Take your shots, but
Pair my resume with
I
any.
got a long memory. In case y'all don't know.
Ooh, he's got a long memory, Matt.
He's getting a little testy. He's getting a little fired up. Well, okay, odds are Dabo Sweeney is a lifer. Does he finish out his career at Clemson? Like, do you see another decade? Or is it just like everything in life? Time to move on. We'll go somewhere else. He goes on somewhere else and wins again. Everybody kind of gets to start over again.
By the end of the season, I think you'll have a real idea. Dabo continues.
Be all right. We'll bounce back. This is a program built to last. Always has been. Always will be. And I would just say if you give up on us if you don't believe in us because we've lost 2 games down to the last straight and we're one, you didn't believe in us anyway. So it don't matter. You wasn't all in anyway. If you're all in, you burn the ships, man. There ain't no exit strategy. Like you're freaking all in. And hey, listen, I mean, Clemson's tired of winning. They send me on my way, but I'm gonna go somewhere else and coach. I ain't going to the beach. Hell, I'm 55. I got a long way to go. Y'all gonna have to deal with me for a while. Got a long way to go. just getting going. I'm just now good enough to be a head coach.
Man.
Played for 4 national titles, won 2 of them. The most successful head coach who's never been a coordinator. And he's just now able to be a head coach. That is as entertaining as it gets. But that's also a guy who's just there's been no criticism thrown towards Dabo within the, except for the last 3 years, really. And I think it's starting to get to him. And maybe part of this may be he had big expectations for this team and did go into the portal a little bit. But it hasn't worked out yet over these first 3 games. And there he is, Matt. I mean, he's a legendary coach right now, at the age of 55. He's a legendary coach. And he's making threats. He's making threats to a fan base. And that's also the kind of thing, it's like the guys in that locker room,
You know who would take him?
he's backing him up and everything.
You know who would take him? University of Florida. You don't think they wouldn't take how long you think it would take before Dabo got a head coaching job? 1 second? Like it would be as soon as Dabo got out of if Clemson departed,
It's
Virginia
all
Tech
lining up.
and Florida and whoever else who else is fired, UCLA, that Dabo will be a head coach like wherever he wants to go.
It's all lining up right now with what's going on
Alabama,
at
he was
Alabama.
a GA at Alabama in '92. Like when
played
they won,
there.
That's
He
what I
walked
mean.
on.
He was a player. He's got a, but so does Dan Lanning at Oregon. I mean he's got Alabama ties too.
I know, maybe they made those phone calls, and I think they did. Didn't Lanning have to go out there and say, "I'm staying here"? In fact, I think Oregon signed him to an extension. It's all lining up, Matt. It really is. It is all lining up. Alabama may be about to have a down year, like a true down year. Clemson may be about to have a real down year, and then it's right there in front of you. And then Clemson lets Dabo leave. Would they really do that? Or would he just make that decision because he's sick and tired of being in a place where he thinks the fans might be spoiled? So then you end up going to another place where the fans are spoiled too. I don't know. But I would think I think he'd be looking into the SEC, and I think he'd be looking first and foremost to Alabama, though I do think he'd fit at Florida and any number of spots in this league too.
I'm a Dabo fan. That's just and I always have been. I like Dabo Swinney. Whenever I did a show with the Buzz, what was that? I don't know, 10 years ago or so before Dabo when Arkansas was looking at getting head coaches. I think we went with Bielema. I had Willie Taggart on my list, and I don't think that worked out as well for everybody else. But Dabo Swinney was another one of my coaches on my list that I was like, man, let's try to get Dabo Swinney. That was, whenever he got to Clemson, I thought that would be just a great pick, and we went with Bielema, Chad Morris. So that's the way we decided to go.
13 seasons of at least 10 wins in the last 14 seasons. And Clemson had not won 10 games in a 20-year period before Swinney got there as the head coach. Of course, he was the receivers coach before. They're going to do everything they possibly can to keep him.
Oklahoma State, if Gundy's out, wouldn't you? I mean, Dabo. Is Dabo too big for Oklahoma State?
I think so.
Yeah.
I do. It's a school, right? If you're going to bring in Dabo Swinney, you're paying him at least $10 million.
You're trying to win a national. You're going for it. You're going. Yeah.
He's not going to go to the school where the departing coach was complaining about we can't compete with Oregon because they pay their players this much and we don't have that. You end up going to a place where the standard is competing for a national championship. And juxtapose that against all the conversation we had in the last 2 weeks, or the last 2 days, sorry. Part of, and I know this isn't what Hunter is going out saying. He's not speaking to other coaches across the country when he says we're not set up to win a national championship. But the coaches across the country will hear those words, and they will use that in 2 ways. One, negatively recruit against Arkansas. That's all. I guarantee that's happening today, just 2 days after the comments. And then you're speaking to potential future hires, and how many of them, if there is a change made at head coach at football at Arkansas during the season or after the season, how many of them would look at those words and then from there glean the situation and take a phone call and a potential offer seriously at that point. So I do think that, you're always speaking to a lot of people all at once when your words get broadcast out like that. I know I'm doing the same. And everybody will end up having disparate reactions based upon the section of the audience that they come from. Join us, 877-377-6963 for the Lewis Automotive Hotline. Don't ever forget about Joe's Grilling Cantina for Arkansas football games every Saturday. When you're at Joe's Grilling Cantina and you're wearing your Razorback gear, you get half-price apps and half-price taps during the game. Also, check out the 10-layer dip, Chimmy Paquitos, Ultimate Sampler, and Mexican Pizza. It's game day, every game day, for Arkansas football, half-price apps and taps, along with your hog gear at Joe's Grilling Cantina, 74th Street across from Harps, joesfortsmith.com. We'll be back in just a moment. This is Halftime.
Call or text the Lewis Automotive Group hotline, 877-377-6963.
That's hitter number 35, a 6'11 junior from Slater, Missouri, Joe Klein. Michael Jordan knocked down by Klein. For Arkansas, their key player, obviously, in the middle, 6'11". Joe Klein leads the team in scoring and rebounding.
Is that a better introduction for you this morning?
Can we just put that on a loop, just drive around in my car and feel special?
This is the Morning Rush, only on ESPN 95.3. Thanks for watching us here on ESPN Arkansas. Download the brand new Hit That Line Now app in the Apple and Google Play stores. ESPN Arkansas, more than just radio stations.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
It's a dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, Sakhalin.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouse. Some serious crappie. Nice speck.
We got crappie.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite white perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
Man, this takes me back to the 2000s.
All your Y2K favorites are back for only $3 or less. Only at Taco Bell.
Lewis Automotive has been serving Northwest Arkansas for over 75 years and just getting started.
Our knowledgeable sales team is here to find you the perfect vehicle to fit not only your lifestyle, but also your budget.
Our factory-trained service technicians keep your vehicle running at optimal level.
And if you're looking for genuine parts and accessories, our team has exactly what you need.
Relax in our comfortable lounge. And when your car's ready, we'll return it to you spotless.
Thank you for being a part of our story.
Come see us at Lewis Automotive Group, where you're more than a customer, you're family.
Does your Razorback closet need an upgrade? The University of Arkansas Game Day Collection is what you're looking for, only at Roback.com. They've custom designed the best hoodies, polos, and Q-zips for your school. Go check out this and more at Roback.com, and don't forget to use our link for 20% off. Use code RUSH25 at checkout on Roback.com for 20% off your first order. That's RHOBACK.com. 20% off all hoodies, joggers, and more with Rush 25. Roback, where action meets comfort.
Get 20% off on your first order with the code RUSH25.
You don't always win your first bet. That's why MyBookie has you covered. Use our code HOGS, H-O-G-S, and your first bet up to $500 is fully covered. If your pick doesn't hit, you get it right back with our Bet Back bonus. Go to MyBookie.ag and use the code HOGS to claim your Bet Back bonus. MyBookie's, where bettors win together, because bragging's good, but cashing in is better. And your first bet is fully covered. Use our code HOGS.
Must opt in during the bet to use the Bet Back bonus.
Dad, the driver looks dirty. You yucky, Daddy.
Hey, don't worry, boys. That's what we do best. At Mike Jr.'s Mo Wash, we make homes, businesses, and even big industrial spaces shine like new.
So you can clean houses and big buildings?
That's right. Residential, commercial, or industrial. No job's too big or too small. Call Mike Jr.'s Mo Wash today at 479-763-5561 or visit mjmowash.com.
Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash. One call cleans it all.
Should I been, could I been, would I been dead if I didn't get a message going to my head? What I can, don't give a man. Someone put a phone to my tail, went down, little more weak, come a fucking dog. Chemical sedative. Oh, baby, somebody get my shit.
You're listening to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones. Want to jump in the conversation? Call or text 877-377-6963. All guests join us on the Lewis Automotive Hotline, serving Northwest Arkansas for over 79 years. Home of the Lewis Guarantee. Now, here's Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
Emmett in Springdale put an interesting text out here on our Lewis Automotive Hotline. Matt, he compared the Dabo situation to John Calipari at Kentucky. It is a little bit of that same thing. What if Dabo gets out right as the season ends and goes to some school in the ACC that nobody would have expected? Or maybe things go sideways for Shane Beamer in South Carolina and he takes Carolina's job, right? But that's the same thing that happened with Cal, about the same amount of time too. National championship, lots of Final Fours, lots of time in the Final Four without winning the national title for Swinney, too. And, man, I mean, as much as that Kentucky fan base may have wanted Calipari out at that point, they were stunned when it happened. It's the exact same thing that would happen in Clemson if he were to leave. But he would not spend much time without a job. That's for sure. Just like you knew Cal wouldn't spend much time at all without one either. And I think it was, a week? And it was really just because they were holding the details back. Because it was the Final Four. 877-377-6963 is our Lewis Automotive Hotline, and here's Paul in Greenwood. Hey, Paul, thanks for calling. How are you?
Hey, fellas. Greetings from Titletown. Hey, it's an honor to speak to Matt. I moved to Arkansas in 95. I don't have the longest history of Arkansas, but Matt Jones is the greatest. My daughter and I, and she was little at the time. She's a big Hog fan because of Matt Jones. The thing is, when Matt Jones had the ball, we were always in the game. The man could bust it at any minute. I love to watch him. He's my kind of quarterback. Hunter Yurchek, he don't believe that. You know, even Lloyd Christmas, the great philosopher, always said, so you're saying there's a chance. Hunter Yurchek doesn't believe us. We pay our overpriced hot dogs at the game, the overpriced Cokes at the game, knowing that our Razorbacks might win. We are just small plays away from win. The money lanes are not working. Look at Alabama. Look at Nico. Look at these disasters where we're hiring, where they're paying bad players with huge egos. You're not getting team cohesion. We've got talent. We've got at least a good offensive coordinator. I'm going to go there. But I turn in because I think we have a chance to win. Apparently Hunter doesn't believe that. So I don't know how he spends this Saturday. But he can jump for all I care because we can win. So there you go.
I appreciate the phone call, Paul. Thanks very much. I mean, it's a frustrated fan. Frustrated because I think he would just want to hear different messaging. You know, an athletic director has to raise money. You know, I'm told that the first and foremost, what an AD's got to do is hire a football coach, and you go from there. They also get those jobs because they're good at raising money. I don't think Hunter would have been hired at Arkansas had he not showed a track record at Coastal Carolina and Houston of getting things done in terms of raising money, and then the programs that you also build and the coaches that you hire. And I think in his role at the Touchdown Club the other day, It was very much specifically on the fundraising aspect of it. And hey, when that's part of your job, there really is never enough. There really is never enough. And then when you're put in a situation, and I don't remember all the dollar figures that Hunter threw out there, trying to compare to teams that are in your same league, not just a matter of their FBS teams. They're in your league, so that's who you compare yourself against. Like if you're Arkansas, you don't compare yourself to anybody in the Big 12 or I think the Big 10 or the ACC. You got to compare yourself to SEC teams, because that's the league you play in. There's basically the rules that you play by, and you get the players that you get, the caliber of players, not just because it's Arkansas, not just because it's the coaching staff you got, but a large part of it is that you're in the SEC, and those players want to play in this league. And I think it was maybe you're speaking to a group of people that have a lot of money, and you're laying it out to them that we don't quite have enough to do what I think everybody would like to do, which is compete for a national championship and win a national championship. It's just the messaging got confused. And I was confused hearing it too, because, at the end, you can compete in the SEC. We're set up to compete in the SEC. But then what is competing? Is it what we saw Saturday, which was a great football game, one that was memorable and one that was entertaining, as heartbreaking as it was at the end? You competed in that game. You didn't win it. And what Hunter didn't say is that we're set up to win in the SEC. He said we're set up to compete in the SEC. And I see a difference between the two things here. You can win in the SEC. Yes, now you can compete for a national championship. But until you get to that point, you're not competing for a national championship. Is Arkansas a winning SEC team? No. Arkansas is not a winning SEC team and hasn't been for a long time. What this is right now, and I think this is also what a lot of Sam's defenders hit on, and this is the absolute truth. Under Chad Morris, this was not a competitive program in the SEC. Under Sam Pittman, it is a competitive program in the SEC. It's just not over 500 in the SEC, which means it's not a winning program in this conference yet. So it's just parsing some words here. There's meanings attached to these words. And I think it's important to throw those things out there. Because right now, Matt, I see a team that can compete in the SEC. I still struggle to believe whether or not they can win in the SEC, and there is the difference between those two things. This season should tell us a little more about that.
I think they can win in the SEC. We're looking at the schedule, and you see Vanderbilt getting better. South Carolina might be the worst team in the SEC this year. You're kind of, is it still Mississippi State? That'd be an interesting one. Our road games, Phil, I don't see a win on the road this year. I don't see us going to Texas and I don't see us Baton Rouge. I don't see, Knoxville. That was our best chance, I think, to win a road game. I really do. Then you're going to say, when's the last time we beat Texas A&M and Missouri? And those are our two home games. It's an uphill battle. It's not easy. Nobody said it's going to be easy. If it was easy, everybody would be doing it. It's tough, man. It's brutal. And Coach Nutt used to always say there's an Alabama effect. You'd go play Alabama, and you'd get up for them, and you're exhausted mentally and physically after the game, and they beat you, and you're beat up, you're black and blue, you're bruised, and then you know what happens most of the time? That next week you go and lose the next game, so you let Alabama beat you twice. That's what we don't need happen with Ole Miss. Late game, you're battered, you're bruised emotionally, you're drained. You got to get your focus back, get your energy back, and be ready, because Memphis is a real football team that if you go out there and you turn the ball over or play a little sloppy, Memphis can whoop you. They have that ability, and so you don't want that. You don't want to be looking forward to Notre Dame. This is a very, very important game this Saturday, and it's an early kickoff. Don't be asleep in your bed still at 11 o'clock. Mentally is what I mean. Make sure you're there, ready to go.
And that's why if there's a text or a call where somebody's going to use the royal we about what we need to do and not converse about the last couple of days and the topic, well, no, the players don't need to worry about that. We are not the team. Like, I appreciate all our listeners, but we are not the team. Those guys in the locker room are the team. they're the ones that need to completely shield themselves from everything that was said on Monday. And like Matt is saying, just focus on Memphis. Back in just a moment. This is halftime.
My head hurts. That's your brain trying to comprehend its own stupidity.
This is halftime.
Texting enrolls you in a recurring automated marketing text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
The team's looking good this season.
I think so. Man, I miss playing football. Ever since I turned 40, I just can't find that fire I used to have.
Think it could be lower testosterone?
What do you mean?
I was feeling the same way. After 40, the body has less testosterone, and men lose their edge. That's why I take Nugenix Total T2.
That's the testosterone booster, right?
Yes, but Total T2 is their brand new formula that skyrockets nitric oxide levels in as little as 3 hours. Since I started taking it, I've been lifting like when we played for Coach Carter. My energy is way up, and it even spiced up things between me and the missus.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles?
Yep, just send a text.
Text HAWK to 321-321 for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T2, the next generation testosterone booster. Text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo X, our newest, most powerful fat burner ever, absolutely free. Text HAWK to 321-321. That's HAWK to 321-321.
These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
This is halftime.
Hey, this is Chad Warner, product manager for Booyah Bait Company in Fort Smith, Arkansas. The hottest swim jig on the Arkansas River right now is the Booyah Mobster. It was designed by the Muddy Water Mob, a bunch of river rats from Arkansas and Oklahoma, and it's winning tournaments on Dardanelle and Kerr like clockwork. If you're fishing submerged vegetation, water willow, lily pads, you need a Booyah Mobster to reel them in. Available at lurenet.com and tackle stores throughout Arkansas and Oklahoma, the Booyah Mobster.
At Wave Rural Connect, our mission is to improve the quality of life in our communities. Across the River Valley of Arkansas and Oklahoma, residents and businesses are experiencing the difference of our high-speed internet. Wave Rural Connect Internet provides a reliable residential connection for streaming, gaming, remote work, and homeschooling. Our business solutions provide the speed, stability, and security that you need, whether you're a mom-and-pop flower shop or large business. Check availability online at signup.waveruralconnect.com or call 833-492-8372.
Flu vaccines, both regular and high dose for seniors, are now available at Law's Drug Store in Fort Smith. Call 452-6116 to schedule your shot appointment. Usually there is no cost when covered by your insurance. Law's Drug has COVID vaccines, RSV vaccines for ages 60 plus. Pneumonia and tetanus shots are also available. Law's Drug Store, 6802 Rogers Avenue behind Outback Steakhouse. Law's Drug Store, open 6 days a week to safely care for you and your family.
Have you had Cheerwine yet? The cherry flavor soda has had people coming back since 1917. This is RD with Platinum Distributing. We help bring Cheerwine to the River Valley for you to try. Nothing goes with food like Cheerwine. Burgers, barbecue, pizza, you name it. Okay, now we're hungry and thirsty. Cheerwine is a one-of-a-kind soft drink with a unique cherry taste that has been delighting Southerners for more than a century. Pick up Cheerwine at your local Jam Mart, Harps, and other fine establishments. Cheerwine, uniquely Southern since 1917.
Every great team has its core players, but when the season gets tough, adding the right free agent can make all the difference. The same goes for business. At Robert Half, we found that 67% of companies surveyed plan to increase their use of contract talent to handle workload peaks and backlogged projects. With Robert Half's specialized recruiters experience, combined with our award-winning AI, you can quickly find the skilled candidates you want. At Robert Half, we know talent. Discover how we can help at roberthalf.com/talent.
It's football season, and that means tailgate parties and gathering with friends. River Point Wine and Spirits has all your favorite party supplies. You'll love our clean, organized store full of all the best liquor, wine, and beer. At River Point, we're a family-owned business where customer service is always our priority. Your journey, our spirit. River Point Wine and Spirits, Grand Avenue and I-540.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Mouthful of cavity. Your thoughts are full of jokes, and every day you remind me I'm desperately in need. See, I got a lot of fiends around, and they're peeking through nothing more. They see you. They see everything you do.
Find Halftime on 99.5 in Northwest Arkansas, 95.3 in Fort Smith and the River Valley, 96.3 in Hot Springs and Central Arkansas, 104.3 in Harrison and Mountain Home, and everywhere on hitthatline.com. Join the conversation. Call or text 877-377-6963. All guests join us on the Lewis Automotive Hotline, serving Northwest Arkansas for over 79 years. Home of the Lewis Guarantee. Now back to the hosts. Here's Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
That was a good one on our Food Wednesday for halftime music. Blind Melon, throwing it out there.
Brush your teeth.
Yeah, otherwise what happens?
Mouthful of cavities.
Just ask Dr. Charlie Liggett about that, right? We also had a request for Bananarama later
Coming up.
on.
We'll get it.
We are taking your request today.
Well, that's the last one, unless the third hour, it's all cake songs. So if there's a certain cake song you got that you want, but that's the last one. Yeah.
I feel like we got to rename the Lewis Automotive Hotline the Lewis Automotive Request Line between 11 and 2. And then, it's the standard DJ answer. See what I can do.
Food Wednesdays.
And right on time is the tuna. I mean, this couldn't work any better.
Tuna.
What's up, Charlie? How are you?
What's up, fellas? I feel like, Phil, you don't even have to handle the DJ thing. I mean, just give it to Matt, right? He's got that.
It's a collaborative effort. We win as a team and we lose as a team in this group. We don't point the fingers.
Well, I did see what y'all were doing a C movie there earlier. C movie, here's what I think you need to do, bud. Start throwing some trivia back at those two, even though they're not going to allow it, because they're the elder statesmen and they are more mature and they know more than us. But you got to start throwing some trivia back at them, man, because there's something in there they probably wouldn't get. Throw some modern stuff at them, some modern songs. Matt, you don't listen to much modern music.
Oh, he listens to plenty modern music. Trust me, this is not all that gets played on halftime, but I get screenshots of what he's listening to.
He knows I'm only messing with him. I know he does. But look, guys, I was thinking about the caller earlier and the whole Hunter comments. In his defense, he obviously was asked a question, so it wasn't like he just, what you said, Phil, he didn't just go in there and start talking about that. But I do want to say this. Do you think he could have maybe worded it a little different from the standpoint of the way he said it? I mean, Matt, you made a good point. Like, this team has to focus on Memphis, and you can't really worry about what's being said on the outside, but he is the AD. I mean, is it harder for 18 to 22-year-old kids to block this stuff out nowadays, Phil?
Well, I think what happens is the parents say you had a son going to school, Charlie, and it's kind of based on relationships still. I get that. But the parents look at that because I listened to my parents about what school I was going to go to. That's who I talked to the most about that. And when the AD comes out and says something like that, what do you think the daddy and mama are saying? Well, why do you want to go there? They're not even trying to win. They're clearly trying to win in basketball and that's what I don't think it's the kids as much as it's kind of who is the mentor and the people that are in charge of these kids.
I've always thought that too. Like, with all of this, going back to the very beginning, that it's more of, the adults in the situation and who they're listening to. It's hard for me to blame these kids with some of this stuff. I mean, these are 18 to, when I was 18, guys, exactly. I'm listening to people that, are much older than me and know a lot more than me. It's the same for me.
It's just, Charlie, I felt like, and Hunter was at the very end of the talk when David asked him to explain things a little bit more, and it felt to me of Hunter kind of talking, well, I don't like the world that we're forced to operate in right now. That's what it sounded like. That's why he's talking about there's these 3 lanes, and maybe we've got to do the 3rd lane now. That's somebody that's telling you these first 2 ways were the ways that I'd like to get things done, but that isn't the world that I live in right now. And it's just, I'm a little worried that you're just late to the party about this.
That's what scares me is because Arkansas was really against it all to begin with, right? I mean, from what I understand, and
But it's Charlie. We still get texts from listeners sometimes that say, "Well, you got to do away with NIL. That's how you do this." I mean, what world do you think we live in? That is not the world that we live in. It's never going to happen. The only way that you ever cap this is to have collective bargaining, and it feels like we're light years from anything like that happening. So, it's admitting the world that you live in now, and also admitting it's like, well, we're not equipped to do that just yet.
Yeah, and you know they always say the truth hurts, but I do think this. I will say this: this year we're talking about this season. I don't want to, and we're talking about it in the moment. I know this: every week we go out there with this offense and Taylor Green. If we're healthy on offense, we got a chance. Matt, I understand what you said about the road games, and look, I agree with you. It's not like, but I think they will still have a couple games on the road. I don't know who it'll be, but I think they'll be in every game to where they have a chance. It's just going to come down to, can they win one of these things? Because, Phil, I think this would build some confidence. I know this is a new team, but they know about the record and all that. If they can win one of these close games, once you learn how to win, I don't know, for whatever reason, winning you start doing it more. If they can find a way to win one of these close games, it's going to really help them. Because these games are going to be close. They're always going to be close. Anyways, y'all have a go.
So here's the issue that I have with this, with that idea. The last game that Arkansas won, that was within one score, was the Tennessee game last year. That's October the 5th. It's not quite 1 year, but it's not far away from 1 year. And that 5-point win did not turn that team into a team that's winning close games. Even the rest of that season, close loss to Texas, 7-point loss to Missouri, all after winning that close game that you would hope would change what I think is still the defining characteristic about Sam's, 5+ years of tenure as the head coach. So I don't want to see a close game this weekend against Memphis. No, not at all. I wanted to see Arkansas beat Ole Miss because I'll believe that. You beat Ole Miss on the road by 1 point, which I thought they were about to do. I'll start believing that you can beat Notre Dame by 3 at home, maybe Tennessee by 5 once again, and go on and on. But I'm almost at the point here where I'll believe it when I see it. I know it's a whole new group of players on both sides of the ball, but it is the same coaching staff. And sometimes the difference between a win and a loss in a 5-point game, a 3-point game, whatever, are the decisions that those coaches make. So, I mean, that's where I take it. You got all these different players over this 5-year period. And heck, Charlie brought it up yesterday, Charlie Liggett, Matt. It's not just Sam. It's Morris, it's Bielema, and it's John L. Smith. It's all of the head coaches over the last 15 years have struggled to win close games here. I mean, is that a matter of just the players on the field, or is that some of the decisions being made to get them onto the field? Personnel, play that's called, or even something like Sam's talking about, and you don't point to one specific play, but about why the defense might have struggled in the first half against Ole Miss over coaching. Too much scheming, too much check to check and check to me and all of that. I mean, that right there is the coach that's telling you it's coaching. That's one of the reasons why defensively we struggled. That might have a little bit to do with talent on the defensive side of the ball, but Sam's saying it has more to do with coaching. And I don't know, maybe I tend to believe him a little bit on that idea. So to me, it is a little more of a, believe it when you see it. Because by now, Matt, have we talked about, I'm pretty sure we've talked about this before. It's like a baseball team with fans that keep pointing by the end of the season that you lead the league in 1-run losses. So you must be that close. You must be that close. No, that does not mean you are that close to being a good team. It means you're a bad team. It means you're not doing enough. It means there aren't enough proper decisions made at times, and plays being made to win that game. You're not good because you almost won on a consistent basis. You're good because you win and you find ways to win games. That's what makes a good team. And it isn't even just the blowouts. Because it's just like you say, Matt, I mean, so many of these games in the SEC come down to one possession. So that one play, the two plays, the decisions that the coaches made that led to those plays and how they were executed or not executed, man, that's a reason why a team loses close games. And again, until I see a season where there's more close wins than losses, that's what this is. That's what Arkansas football is for now.
Well, you go back and you watch film. It's a lot of teaching moments, and it's kind of how do you relay the message to the players. It's how are you coaching up? Hey, look, guys, there were plays we left out there on both sides of the ball, defensive side, offensive side, and special teams. So it's on us. It's not on anybody else. You go, you watch film, you study, you focus up, you get ready, and there'll be a play here or there, and you never know. That's why you give maximum effort all the time. You never know what 4, 5, 7 plays are going to change the game. Sometimes it's only one play. Sometimes it's a couple plays. A lot of plays you would call them throwaway plays or plays in the wash. And that's kind of the back and forth, the tug of war. And then you have an explosive play. You have a big time. You have an opportunity. And there's plenty of opportunities. So you can't go back and watch that Ole Miss tape as an Arkansas player and say, oh, no, Ole Miss was just better than us. No, we left some out there. And every single player, what did Nick Sirianni say for the Philadelphia Eagles? He said, if you think you're the reason we won the Super Bowl, you're right. But if you think you're the only reason we won the Super Bowl, you're wrong. Same thing with this team. It's not all on one player. It's you win and lose as a team.
Get over to Rhoback.com. Check out the University of Arkansas Game Day Collection. It's what you're looking for to upgrade your Razorback closet at RHOBACK.com. Custom designed hoodies, polos, and Q-zips with Razorback logos right on them. And you can get 20% off your first order at Rhoback using the code RUSH25 at checkout. That's RHOBACK.com, RUSH25 at checkout. Rhoback, where action meets comfort. Back in a moment, wrapping up hour number 2. This is halftime.
Playoffs? Don't talk about it. Playoffs? You kidding me? Playoffs?
This is halftime.
Need a new fence but not ready to pay all at once? The Fence Man, serving Fort Smith for over 40 years, offers 18-month financing so you can secure your home or office now and pay over time. Free quotes, custom designs, and the expertise to accomplish what most can't. Call 479-782-3936 or visit thefencemanAR.com. The Fence Man, he ain't afraid of no work.
Hey, Ty Richardson for JamMart. JamMart is always trying to save you money, and that's why they partner with Valero. Hook up your checking account to the Valero Pay Plus app, and you'll get 10 cents off a gallon, plus other special deals on holidays and more. JamMart and Valero, passing on the savings to you. Now available at the 3 Fort Smith Valero JamMart locations. JamMart, the leading gas station and convenience store in the region.
Fill her up, please.
Locally owned Lumber One can handle all of your building needs. They've built their business on having great relationships with everybody from contractors and builders to the everyday build-it-yourself. Lumber One is a full-line door shop to handle all of your door, window, and trim needs. And along with lumber, roofing and drywall products, attic wall and floor insulation is available. Lumber One also does blueprint takeoff with access to design services with estimates available. So go where the pros go. Lumber One, located on Industrial Park Road in Van Buren.
Presented by Sharp Equipment. This is a game changer for the Van Alma community. Sharp Equipment is now open at 3918 Pointer Trail East in Van Buren. No matter what sector of heavy equipment you're in, you'll leave Sharp Equipment with new ideas, new relationships, and new opportunities to grow your business. Sharp Equipment is locally owned and operated, so whether you're needing to stock up on filters, order replacements, or renting equipment for the next big job, this is the perfect place to shop locally. Stop in at Sharp Equipment, now located at 3918 Pointer Trail East in Van Buren, or give them a call at 479-649-0500 to see how Sharp Equipment can help you move more than just the world. They help you move forward.
Here's to you and yours from the friendly folks at In Good Spirits, your upscale liquor store in Fort Smith. At In Good Spirits, they've got what your taste buds are craving, including flavorful wines from around the world, scrumptious brandies and liqueurs, tempting whiskeys and beers, and fine cigars. Treat yourself to the best as you listen to the game. Check out In Good Spirits, 12100 Highway 71 South, across from Riley Farms in Fort Smith.
Hey, it's Desmond Howard. You want to win the weekend? It all starts with the tailgate. And for me, that means Kingsford Charcoal.
They've been bringing the flavor, the smoke, and the heat since 1920. No wonder they're still the gold standard of grilling. So fire it up, feed your crew, and let the smoke do the talking. Kingsford, the king of the tailgate. Get it today at the Home Depot. Outdoers get more done.
Do you feel that, Arkansas? The Lotto jackpot is now more than $1 million. Why should you care? Because this $1 million+ prize can only be won in Arkansas. There are 2 Lotto drawings every week, and the jackpot keeps growing until there's a winner. Join the fun and play Lotto today. A $2 ticket could change your life. Get yours in stores today. Call 1-800-522-4700 for Problem Gambling Helpline.
Up to $11,000 off on select GMC Sierras at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. The GMC Sierra will conquer the road with confidence. Up to $11,000 off, or take 4.9% for up to 84 months. Lease the all-new 2025 GMC Hummer and go 0 to 60 in under 3.9 seconds for as low as $9.99 a month. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. We are professional grade. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
Welcome back into halftime, live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Crabtree RV Center, where RVing is life.
Unit. What movie was this prominently in the 80s? The Karate movie. That should be the
Karate
only
Kid.
hint I need to give you.
The Karate Kid?
Well done. You've seen The Karate Kid? Please say
yes.
Yes. Okay, very good. Have you seen Karate Kid 2?
I think I have, yes. I've seen one of them.
Well, was it 1 or 2?
Little Bow Wow?
Yeah, that one doesn't count.
Oh.
Sorry.
You know that I watched some of this Charlie Sheen documentary. I don't know how much either one of you guys have watched it yet. It's a little hard. Some of it he's so narcissistic. It's so tough to watch, and it's like, bro, get over it. But he was offered Danielson, the writer director. They offered him the role was his, and but he had already given his word about something else to do, and his pops wouldn't let him. He said, "Man, you in this business, you tell them to wait. If they still want you, they'll wait for you 6 weeks." And so he missed out on. He would have been Karate Kid.
So I mean, 84 is Karate Kid. I'm wondering what Sheen could have been doing at that point. It had to have been Red Dawn. Had to have been Red Dawn, which is the first ever PG-13 movie and just as good as The Karate Kid. It had to have been Red Dawn. That's the only one I can think of. 877-377-6963. Saw another kid out of the 80s last night on Dancing with the Stars. I don't usually watch this. There was no football last night. And my daughter, who would much rather have football on than dancing, put that show on. Here, take them. It's very nice when you let your kids have the microphone, or not the microphone, the remote control. They'll never get the microphone here just because they don't really know what they're doing with it yet. But they can have the remote control because I don't really care what's on normally. So she puts on Dancing with the Stars. Corey Feldman is on Dancing with the Stars. Andy Richter was on Dancing with the Stars. Andy Richter will be the first voted off. He looked like a box with legs trying to move.
SpongeBob SquarePants.
And then there was Corey Feldman.
Was that Sunglasses in Night?
No, that's Corey. That's Corey Hart. Yeah, that's Corey Hart.
Okay.
That's right. Corey Feldman. He, of course, because he and Michael Jackson were buddies in the 80s, and he broke out some of the Michael Jackson moves. Like, let's not do that right now, please, Corey Feldman. Maybe not right now. And anyway, of course, they're right there with Alfonso Ribeiro, so it's just like
he's
right in the 80s again.
Sure, the Carlton.
Yeah.
Oh, he's winning Dancing with the Stars. I would have thought he had already been on that.
Oh yeah. Now speaking of the 80s too, because Sean Astin is now the president of the Screen Actors Guild. Rudy is the president of the Screen Actors Guild. And heck, he was Mikey, wasn't he? He was Mikey in The Goonies?
That documentary,
along with Corey Feldman, who was Mouth.
That documentary Rudy he did for Notre Dame, that was one of the best documentaries I've ever seen.
Wait, you mean the movie wasn't a documentary? I thought that was 100%.
That was real. Vince Vaughn, you remember Vince Vaughn's a running back in that movie?
I just loved how the guy who at one point might have had a chance to play for Notre Dame, who was Rock on that show, that he could barely clap his hands together properly when he realized Rudy had made the team. It's the worst clap that I've ever seen in my life. Hour number 3 coming up, 877-377-6963 is our Lewis Automotive Hotline, and we'll be back right after this.
They say consistency is the key to success. They weren't wrong. So how about grabbing a beer that's consistently smooth, consistently refreshing, and consistently light? You might just find that the road to success can be pretty enjoyable. Michelob Ultra, the perfect balance of taste and refreshment, and only 2.6 carbs and 95 calories. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Don't miss the big porch sale at Gelco Outdoors. Casual clothing, work clothing, and hunting clothing for men, women, and children. Clothing is priced at 50% off the lowest price, which means savings of 75% or more off the original price. Brands like Ariat, Browning, Wrangler, Drake, Non-Typical, and more. Save up to 75% off at Gelco Outdoors Porch Sale, 4600 South Zero in Fort Smith.
Sometimes I'm in a hurry. Stay in the slow lane, buddy. That's when I use the Sodies app to order my favorites and pick up in their drive-thru. They even offer a 10% discount on your first app order. Experience different at Sodies Wine and Spirits off I-540 on Phoenix Avenue.
Every day is worth celebrating at Uncorked. Cocktails, wine, craft beer, bourbons, and unbelievably great food. Uncorked on Phoenix Avenue next to Sodies.
Looking for a career with a company built to last? At Forsgren, we've been shaping the future of the River Valley since 1936. Nearly 90 years of excellence, innovation, and family-driven leadership. From sidewalks that still stand today to major infrastructure projects across the region, our legacy is built on quality and community. Apply now at goforsgren.com. Join the Forsgren legacy, where your work becomes part of something lasting. Forsgren, building the foundation of the River Valley for 4 generations. Apply now at goforsgren.com.
Hi, this is Lindsay White with White Office Machines. For over 90 years, my family's been serving the greater Fort Smith region with the image industry's newest technologies, as well as providing superior customer service through long-term business relationships. As the area's only authorized Kyocera document solutions dealer, White Office Machines provides the best value with high-speed copiers and the latest multifunction printers. Stop by our office in downtown Fort Smith or in Russellville. Follow us on Facebook or go to whiteoffice.com.
White Office Machines since 1929.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, lots of sunshine. Our high temperatures this afternoon into the low 90s tonight. Clear to partly cloudy. Overnight low will drop down in the mid to upper 60s. Thursday, a chance of seeing some showers and storms. Our high Thursday, right around the low 90s. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by Cop CDL Academy. Call them today at 479-632-1050. Cop CDL Academy, expanding horizons.
KERX Paris Fort Smith. This is Halftime, coming at you from the Crabtree RV Studios on ESPN 95.3. Coming to you live from the Crabtree RV Center Studios. Broadcasting on ESPN Arkansas and streaming on hitthatline.com.
We got a good one tonight. You got a team in here that doesn't respect it. Oh, action man, if I'm all right. What can't they dominate? And we not doing it.
We're going to go get one and celebrate on somebody else's field.
Yeah.
You both said you had very motivational words at halftime.
It's halftime with Phil Olsen and Matt Jones.
From the bottom of my toes to the top of my head. What's my hot dog? Let's go, man.
The angles were so bad, we showed them at halftime.
What angle one Razorback?
Like, what in the world were we thinking?
It's vintage Matt Jones.
Call or text 877-377-6963. Now, here's Phil Olsen and Matt Jones. Back to halftime. It's hour number 3. So that makes it 1:01 in the afternoon. On a Wednesday, Phil Olsen, Matt Jones, Christian Johnston producing. Until at least Christian follows through with his Dabo Swinney-like threat to leave us in the lurch and go produce another show, because he's only 30 and he's got a lot more producing left in his career. Does that mean we got to get down on our hands and knees and beg C-Movie to stick around, Matt? I don't know if I'm ready to beg yet.
You know, he might get picked up in free agency.
Man.
I don't know if he'd clear waiver wires.
I bet you C-Movie would get picked up really fast. Wouldn't take much time. He's got a reputation that
He's got to put up with
him.
us too for however long he's done it. I mean, that's got to be something.
Man, I like my job. I like it.
He sounds a little bit like you right now, Matt. I thought he was going to say something about my life couldn't be any better. If I told you about it, you wouldn't believe it. He stopped short, though.
It's right. My life's so good, it's only going to get worse. My life can't get any better.
That's right. You get to eat Mexican food with me later tonight somewhere in the Ozarks. Could life be any better than that? 877-377-6963 is the Lewis Automotive Hotline. Jody's having a rough day. He told me on the text line that he's having his day today. The type of day this is a pimple on the inside of his nose type of day. Oh, yuck. I wouldn't put that as the worst place to have one, but not far off. Get them every once in a while, too, still. The pimple that forms on the eyebrow. You know, the one that even if you move your eyes a little bit, you can like feel it in your toes.
You got to wait 2 days before you can pop it. You're like, if you try to pop it too soon, it just hurts. You're like,
Right.
I got to wait a couple of days on it.
It's like trying to get on there, but like this thing is a boulder right now. It's not ripe. It's like trying to eat a green banana. It doesn't quite work well. What other, the ones on the corner of your mouth? Oh, those ones stink too. Because those
Or
are the
your
ones
nose.
that they never stop bleeding. They literally never stop bleeding. It's like the little corner of your thumb when you pick it off, and the next thing you know, you're bleeding to death over the next 1 hour or so. I feel for you, Jody. So good luck getting that thing popped, and I don't know, send us a photo or not. Definitely not.
Yodi and Harrison, we'll be in your backyard, Yodi.
That's right. We're up there later tonight. Absolutely. Come on in. Well, I'm not going to invite everybody out to dinner with us tonight because I'm paying, and you guys aren't getting a free meal on me. I did want to wish a couple of birthdays. We haven't done birthdays too much. Just two of them I wanted to throw out. Patrick Mahomes. 30 years old. Doesn't it feel like he's older than that?
Been winning for a while.
Been
Oh, my
around
goodness.
for a long time. I don't know. It's like he's got the makeup of a 35-year-old on the football field too. And Dave Van Horn is 35 years older than Patrick Mahomes. And I know he roots for him because he's a Chiefs fan. But today is Dave's 65th birthday.
The best hockey player to ever lace him up, Alexander Ovechkin. He turned 40 today.
I don't know if I'd put him as the best.
I
He's
think
one of
he's
them.
the best.
Scored the most goals.
I think I'm going Wayne Gretzky, Gordie Howe, but I'm for when you see what Alex Ovechkin's done, it's kind of hard to argue.
And I mean, I say Mario Lemieux, but that's only because I grew up watching him. And I think if you go by points per game played, Lemieux has the record, but he was always injured, so he didn't have the actual record for points.
Sid the Kid was always injured.
Sid the Kid is still playing too. But man, you look at DVH, 65 years old. He's on the job 24 years at Arkansas.
Do you think he's finally ready to be a head coach like Dabo?
No, 10 years ago he was.
He's finally ready.
Yeah, it only took him, that would have taken him, I guess, 24 years to be ready as a head coach. Oh, it'd be the same thing as Dave, like being up there on the presser and talking about, you want me to leave? I said, so fine, I'll leave. I'm not ready to retire. I'll just go coach somewhere else. Doesn't have the 2 natties, I understand, but it would be the same idea of complaining about having a down year at Arkansas baseball, and then, all right, well, then go ahead and I'll go coach somewhere else. It's just Dave had that down year. Dabo's not had that down year yet. 2016.
Will they win 8 games that year? That's a down year for him?
No, I mean Arkansas baseball in 20.
I was going to say
2016.
Dabo. I think that Dabo's worst years, like they won 8 games, or it's like they really they're kind of spoiled. It's kind of like Coach K when he was at Duke. It's just like, you can't win it every year, but you really are kind of spoiled when Dabo's there.
It's just that there wasn't this kind of success until Dabo got there. Like Danny Ford had the national title, and had some success there, but it wasn't quite at this level. So it's not like there've been all this string of national championships and incredible seasons at Clemson before Dabo got there. But it almost coincides with like the success that Clemson's had with him as the coach, coincides with Nebraska's slide in the Big Ten, right? So, I mean, Nebraska's not a blue blood anymore. Clemson is. They kind of replaced him in that sense. You don't always get to keep your status as a blue blood.
6-7, 2010, 2010. He was 6-7.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
Second year.
Every other year except for one field, they've won double-digit games instead of. And still in 2018, they had an unblemished record as well. Wow.
So then, what do you do with that as a fan or as an administrator? I would think with the administrators, they would do everything they possibly can to keep Dabo Swinney around. I don't know what he's like personally. I don't know what he's like to work with if you're an administrator. But if you just look at the track record here and the league you're playing in, you want that guy to stick around. So you give him an off year. Heck, you might even give him a couple of off years. And an off year there is 8 wins, which we'd be celebrating here. Just a matter of what you're used to, I guess. But, you look through careers, and I mean, even the best coaches end up having an off year here and there. Look at 1967, right in the middle of Frank Broyles' tenure at Arkansas. It came after an 8-2 season. And it came before a 10-1 season with a win in the Sugar Bowl. The 67 Razorbacks won 4 games, lost 5, and tied once. It's the only losing record Frank had except for his first year as the Razorback head coach. So I'm sure all of the sports talk shows and Twitter was aflame that season, Matt. You can imagine 1967. People were pretty upset about a lot of things going on in the world. I'm sure Arkansas football was top of the list. But he got himself more time after that. I wonder if it was today's day and age and it was Frank Broyles, would he get that same grace? 1 year can be the thing that gets you out. 1 year. That's why it's funny. I mean, the people are pointing to Dabo and saying, well, he's crashing out and everything. But I have a sense like there's criticism to go along with it. He might be a little bit thin-skinned, but there's got to be criticism that goes along with it. And he's answering. It's funny. I was reading about. Now, I didn't watch the whole press conference, but I read he did a 12-minute answer on one question, which had something to do with, I think, production from wide receivers, and turns that into a 13-minute diatribe, basically on the whole program and him as a coach. So that's somebody who is, I don't think he's feeling the pressure, but I think he's hearing some of the things that are said about his program and is defending it ultimately. I mean, I've been accused of being defensive sometimes, and I wonder if I really am. Dabo was being very defensive yesterday, and I think he's got the track record to stand on. 877-377-6963 is the Lewis Automotive pimple line, apparently, because Aaron in Ozark said he had an ingrown hair and a pimple on his knee during high school football, turned to staph after his knee pad rubbed it in a football game. Oh, goodness. He asked if you ever dealt with anything like that, Matt. So, Matt, we need to hear about the most disgusting pimple in your life.
No, I had a staph where it was, football deal, and you kind of get injured, and you rub your skin on the ground, whatever, and as far as how it happens, and then, like, you don't really know it's staph, and then you go see the trainers or whatever, and then they have to give you this, like, potent antibiotic to crush it out, because that staph, that apparently that'll spread really quick. That's nothing you want. You don't want staph.
I've read about those MRSA infections too.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's medically resistant staph is I think what that means. It's pretty awful. But Aaron, I hope things got better from then, because I don't know what year exactly that you're talking about. Chris said Dabo's line, and he must have read the whole thing, the appreciation to be higher than the expectation is what he wants. It's an interesting thing to line up there. The appreciation to be higher than the expectation. He's pointing to his track record specifically. Track record. And I guess the thought is, it's not a guess, it is the thought. Can you have the same success in a new era of college football, in which, so it's like, I think just to compare here between Dabo and Hunter Yurachek, like Dabo has been so resistant to the transfer portal until I think this year, and still not utilizing it as much as a lot of other teams do. And the feeling like, well, you're falling behind if you don't at least consider utilizing the portal. And Dabo wanted to be the coach that lived in the world that he thought he wanted to live in and coach in, rather than the real world of college football right now, in which if you're not improving through the portal, are you really going to be able to improve the way that teams need to now? And just doing it off of your incoming classes. That's the same idea as what we heard from Hunter on Monday. And to me, it's just to kind of put all the statements into one. I don't like the world we're living in right now. And I'm just now starting to realize that I have to do things that work in that world, that whole third lane. And although Dabo's not talking about the transfer portal, that is a coach that is late to the idea of how you build a college football team in today's day and age, and it might be catching up to him. So I do think that these two things that we've been conversing about over the course of this show, there is a little bit of similarity to them of the idea, well, I got into this industry because of this, and this, student athletes, graduation, men growing through their experiences and all of that, and competition, and for it not to be all about the money. And now you know the world that you live in, and there's still resistance to it. And there's going to be resistance to it. It's just we're getting, you see where some of the other programs end up, and they might have adjusted better to the situation in terms of the portal and in terms of NIL and how you spend money. All right, we got to take a quick break on halftime. Back in just a moment here on ESPN Arkansas and hitthatline.com.
I think it's your girlfriend called.
Text the Lewis Automotive Group hotline, 877-377-6963. Lewis Automotive Group, home of the Lewis Guarantee.
Tommy, what's the last time you've had breast milk?
Sports to the wacky, weird, and wonderful. We've got you covered.
You got to be able to shoot. You got to be a threat.
You suck the helium out of a balloon and then you get, hey, how you doing?
Is that dangerous?
I'm a hugger.
I never get a hug from you. What's that about?
I'm selective with them.
I've been guilty of saying that you are what your record says you are. It feels different now.
13 hours of local programming in podcast form every day. Don't miss a moment of fun on the Hit That Line Podcast Network.
Have you ever pooped yourself?
Harry Robinson Salisol Ford wants to buy or trade for your vehicle today, and they will give you top dollar. Pre-owned car values are at historic all-time highs, and your car today is worth more than it ever will be again. If you are driving a 2013 model or newer with 120,000 miles or less, bring it to Harry Robinson Salisol Ford, and they'll give you more than any other dealer. Even if you don't want to buy a new car, they'll still buy yours. Harry Robinson Salisol Ford, 1 mile south of exit 308 off I-40 in Salisol.
End of season savings are yours right now on Kubota hay equipment at Gray Brothers, including the new DM Series disc mowers, or try Kubota's DM Series trail mowers. And for the prettiest bale of hay on the market, try Kubota's VV Series round baler. With Gray Brothers' low pricing and great interest rates from Kubota, it's time for your new hay equipment. That's Gray Brothers Equipment in Fort Smith and Poto, where if you pick orange, you'll never get a lemon.
Dad, the driver looks dirty.
Ew, yucky, Daddy.
Hey, don't worry, boys. That's what we do best. At Mike Jr.'s Mo Wash, we make homes, businesses, and even big industrial spaces shine like new.
So you can clean houses and big buildings?
That's right. Residential, commercial, or industrial. No job's too big or too small. Call Mike Jr.'s Mo Wash today at 479-763-5561 or visit mjmowash.com.
Mike Jr.'s Mo Wash. One call cleans it all.
Here's to you and yours from the friendly folks at In Good Spirits, your upscale liquor store in Fort Smith. At In Good Spirits, they've got what your taste buds are craving, including flavorful wines from around the world, scrumptious brandies and liqueurs, tempting whiskeys and beers, and fine cigars. Treat yourself to the best as you listen to the game. Check out In Good Spirits, 12100 Highway 71 South, across from Riley Farms in Fort Smith.
Texting enrolls you in a recurring automated marketing text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
The team's looking good this season.
I think so. Man, I miss playing football. Being young with unlimited energy to burn. Ever since I turned 40, I just can't find that fire I used to have.
Think you could be lower testosterone?
What do you mean?
All guys lose their edge when they turn 40. The body has less testosterone. That's why I take Nugenix Total T.
I've heard about Nugenix. That really works?
Since I started taking Nugenix, I'm lifting like when we played for Coach Carter. I feel more energized at work. It's even spiced up things between me and the missus.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles for people to try?
Yep, send a text. It's that easy.
Text FORCE to 42424 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T. It's the #1 selling testosterone boosting brand at GNC and Walmart. Do it now and they'll also send you a bottle of Nugenix Thermo X, their newest, most powerful fat burner ever, absolutely free. Text FORCE to 42424. That's FORCE to 42424.
These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent
The 36th annual Hot Springs Village Razorback Club Golf Tournament is Wednesday, October 8th at Magellan Golf Club in Hot Springs Village. A 9:30 a.m. shotgun start, with all proceeds benefiting Razorback student athletes. Register today for just $150 per player, with breakfast and lunch included. Sponsorships are also available, including corporate and whole sponsorships. Don't miss the fun, the prizes, and a chance to support the Hogs. Sign up now at hsvhogs.com. That's hsvhogs.com.
The Hit That Line Now app is ready for you to download from the Apple and Google Play stores. Sponsored by Taco Bell. Live Moss.
You turn screws, you tear down the bridge. Flimsy as it is, it's businesslike. You shake my hand, you break up the band. Flimsy as it is, it's open mic punk rock. Red, white, and blue. Yeah, you twist the knife, then go home to kiss your wife. A bigger, better slice is what you like. You kick the sand, you get the upper hand. You'll sell it to Japan, it's natural punk rock. Red, white, and blue.
Make sure to follow Halftime on Twitter at HitThatLineAR and on Facebook and Instagram at HitThatLine. Call or text 877-377-6963. All guests join us on the Lewis Automotive Hotline, serving Northwest Arkansas for over 79 years. Home of the Lewis Guarantee. Now back to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
Come on now, Google. Help me out a little bit here. I type into a Google search, bands named for food. There's a lot of them on here that are. Meat Puppets, Wings.
We played Meat Puppet. We played a Wings song, yeah.
Country Joe and the Fish, Cake, Spice Girls, Blue Oyster Cult, Sugar Ray, Daryl Hall and John Oates, Gin Blossoms, Neutral Milk Hotel, the Monkees. It said the Monkees here.
Well, Indiana Jones. Monkey Brain.
Yeah. That's true. All right, I need to remember those things. And I know that movie in and out. Why am I not thinking of this?
They eat White Snake as well.
Grateful Dead is on this list. This is not named after food. What about Grateful or Dead is food?
Humble Pie, are they on there?
They're on there. Yeah, absolutely. Electric Prunes,
Electric Prunes. Do they do that raisin song where they're dancing? That's what I would think that would be their song?
Oh, there's the California Raisins.
Yeah.
That was I heard it through the grapevine.
Oh, okay.
I think that was Marvin Gaye. Bowling for Soup. I love soup. We got soup people that listen every once in a while, and then Cream.
Bush.
I didn't see Bush on here.
Gavin Rosdale.
I did not see Bush on here. Probably belongs here. Soundgarden. That's not Garden. I guess you could. However you want to throw this in here. Yeah, and here's one. Limp Bizkit. On the text line, the Limp Biscuits. I think it was just biscuit. And it was Bizkit. Bizkit, I think is what it was. Matt thinks with Grateful Dead, he's thinking Grateful Head Pizza. I'm not quite sure if that's what they were thinking.
Mellow Mushroom?
Yeah. Could not have been thinking about that. So earlier in the show, I brought up that Taylen Green leads the nation in total offense right now. I know, say it with me, 3 games in, a lot more golf to be played. Yes, it's understood. But let's say he stays up there for a good while this year. I think this Arkansas offense is a problem for some teams. I think the Arkansas defense, obviously is the problem for the team at the moment. You go back and look at players that have led the nation in total offense in recent seasons, and you are going to go either early in the draft or you are going to be a Heisman finalist or both if you stay up at that level for a long time. Last year, Jackson Dart led the nation in total offense. First-round draft choice, and I don't know if he was I don't remember where he was located in terms of the Heisman voting, but 2 years ago, Jaden Daniels led the nation in total offense. We know about him. By the way, that was with 3 losses. But his numbers were so far ahead of everybody else that I think everybody was okay looking past the 3 losses. Michael Penix in 2022, 8th overall pick, runner-up in the Heisman to Caleb Williams. Williams was 5th in total offense in 22. Bailey Zapp led the nation in 21 as the quarterback at Western Kentucky. I think he's backing up still somewhere in the NFL, but that's Western Kentucky. If you do this in the SEC, you're going to be a first-round pick. Kyler Murray in 2018, Lamar Jackson in 2017, Mahomes in 2016. Think of some of the players that we're bringing up here. And again, I understand it's 3 games into the season, and I would be surprised if based upon the teams you're playing for the rest of the year and where some of those games are located, I would be very surprised if Taylen Green leads the nation in total offense. I, however, wouldn't be surprised if he's in the top 5, because this right now looks like a pretty unstoppable player who has become a more accurate passer. There's still room for improvement, I don't think he's just looking to run when the production breaks down and he's not zeroing in on one receiver. And look, we got into it last week. We were told you're going to eat your words, and maybe we will eat our words at some point. There are not going to be very many games this year, if there are any, where Taylen Green is not the best quarterback. Is that safe to say? Is that fair to say, Matt?
Let's look. Tennessee would be
Aguilar.
We'll see who there is. Marcel Reed. I like him at A&M. And then
Nussmeier at LSU.
So there's 3 that I think are the other ones. No, there's no brainer. Missouri, Texas, Mississippi State, Auburn. He's better than all those quarterbacks. Not even close. Aguilar. I haven't seen enough of him. I like Marcel Reed. I
like him too.
Yeah, so we have to kind of see how that goes. And then the thing about Nussmeier, Phil, is Taylen Green might be better pro. We don't know that, but Nussmeier's been a starter and doing this for what you're asking a college kid to do. Nussmeier does a lot.
And Taylen Green's going to be asked to do a heck of a lot too, which is like I think it's almost like, do you feel he's got to put the team on his shoulders sometimes because of how offensively minded this team is going to be? And you look at LSU, they have a defense. And they can win games different ways. Now, maybe the defense improves in the future, and maybe there are some games that get into the 20s. But it does feel to me, and I know the quarterback is the most important player on the team, no matter who it is. I feel Green has more to do with Arkansas's success than Nussmeier does at LSU. And really, I think he's got more to do with Arkansas's success than potentially any of the other quarterbacks that we're facing. His value to this team,
his war.
Yeah, his war, his value, his war is I think off the charts for Arkansas compared to a lot of the other programs that have a good quarterback right now that you're going to be facing. And I wonder what all of you think about that. Our Lewis Automotive hotline is open at 877-377-6963. Talon now with, man, and this is the thing you hate about this too. If you've had one of the more historic games in program history and the first ever quarterback to throw for 300 and rush for 100 in the same game, that's a game you got to win. That's a game you have to win. If it's an historic performance, you got to win those games. And that's what I'm getting at earlier about, to point out of Arkansas being so close to everything. The defining characteristic, and unfortunately it was the same against Oklahoma State last year. An amazing game that Talon played, a little turnover prone, but there were no turnovers that he was responsible for against Ole Miss. And even with that performance, it wasn't just quite good enough for what would have been a huge win. Hopefully that changes in the near future. It's not going to be close this weekend, but next week after that, Notre Dame, that's going to be a close one. And I'd like to see reason to have belief that the program's DNA is different this year than in the previous 5 years, that those games that did not go Arkansas's favor can now go in the Razorbacks' favor. But so much of it, Matt, has to do with Talon's performance. He's a Superman, and it's like he's got to, pick up earth and fly it on his own shoulders, and that's a lot of responsibility for one player.
Yeah, don't press. You don't want him to press or try to play outside. Just let him keep being him and making the right decision, making the right pass, making the right play, knowing when to run. I would like to see us run the ball with 0 a little bit more in the fourth quarter. There's something
started to as well.
Yeah, there's something about running the ball late in the game. Those guys just don't tackle the same late in the game. And you see the defense, you're able to move the ball. You keep him fresh because you're starting Mike Washington, and there's no reason that Braylon Russell shouldn't get, like, if let's say Braylon Russell gets 10 touches a game, 8 of them should be in the fourth quarter. That's kind of how they don't want to tackle that big dude late. Like, trust your teammates. To me, that would be a little bit more of a recipe for success.
877-377-6963 if you want to touch on what we just brought up. We'll break here in a moment, but first remember about Bet Saracen. If you want to put a little money on your favorite sporting event, Bet Saracen is right there on your phone. You can download from the App Store for the iPhones, Android users. Just go to Google Play. You can go to a web browser as well, betsaracen.com. Right now, the Hogs are a 7-point favorite, minus 275 on the money line. The over-under is 62.5 points for this weekend's game against the Tigers on the Bet Saracen app. We are back into the home stretch of halftime right after this.
Tony Boy Curtis.
That's an original name.
This is halftime.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6759. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. There is 0 risk to you. If we can't reduce your tax debt, then you pay nothing. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have a 5-star rating on Google and Yelp and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-6759. That's 800-575-6759. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
You're listening to Halftime Live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Crabtree RV Center, where RVing is life.
The tires on your vehicle go round and round, but when they don't, go to Van Alma Tire. They have tires in their name. That's their specialty. Van Alma Tire is all about tires. They have all the name brands and private labels available for you and in stock. So when it comes to getting tires for your ride, it's worth the drive. And financing is available. Ask for details. Whatever your tire need, check out Van Alma Tires on Highway 64 between Van Buren and Alma. Ready to get you rolling on new tires at Van Alma Tire.
Hey everyone, Josh Earnhardt here at AAA Business Systems in Northwest Arkansas. Do you like doing business with local companies? Did you know that AAA Business Systems is one of only a few truly local office technology providers in Northwest Arkansas? Ask your current technology provider where their corporate office is, and let's keep your money in Northwest Arkansas. Buy local, support local. Call us today at 479-442-4185, and remember, anything else is just a copy.
When you need legal help, turn to the law offices of Craig L. Cook. With over 40 years combined experience, the Cook Law Team works for you. If you've been injured in an auto accident, hurt on the job, a victim of nursing home negligence, or need help with bankruptcy, Social Security, wills, trusts, estates, or family law issues, Craig Cook will go to work for you. Call us today, 479-783-8000. The law offices of Craig L. Cook with locations in Arkansas and Oklahoma. We work for working people.
Game days just got a whole lot cheesier at Art's Barbecue and Burgers on Rogers Avenue in Fort Smith. Art's legendary smoked brisket queso is back. There's no better game time treat than this house-made queso, loaded with chunks of Art's smoked brisket. And try the sloppy pig, Art's ham-pattied burger, topped with pulled pork and smothered in smoked brisket queso. Make your game days cheesy at Art's Barbecue and Burgers, Rogers Avenue, 2 doors east of Lowe's in Fort Smith.
Dave and the crew at Eastside Liquor have everything you need. Football is back, and so is their Oktoberfest beers. Make sure you try their ready-to-drink cocktails and their outstanding bourbon selection. 9390 Rogers Avenue in Fort Smith, with a convenient drive-through. You can also give them a call at 479-452-7311. Eastside Liquor, everyday low prices on beer, wine, spirits, and cigars.
Hey guys, this is Ethan at Wheeler Power Sports, and we want you to stop in and see Drew at our apparel department. On-road or off-road, we've got you covered. Helmets, jackets, gloves, footwears, and everything in between, from top brands like Alpine Star, Icon, Scorpion, RST, Bell, and many more. Also, see Lane and team at the Wheeler Power Sports parts department. From standard maintenance items to custom accessories and add-ons, Wheeler's got you. Wheeler Power Sports, 901 North 11th Street in downtown Fort Smith, keeping the good times rolling since 1967.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Your arms around me, I need to feel your touch. I need your understanding, I need your love so much. You tell me that you love me so, you tell me that you care, but when I need you, baby, on the phone, long distance, always through such strong resistance. First you say you're too busy, I wonder if you even miss me. Never there, you're never there, you're never, ever, ever, ever there.
Welcome back to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones. Got a question or comment for the guys? Call or text 877-377-6963. All guests join us on the Lewis Automotive Hotline, serving Northwest Arkansas for over 79 years. Home of the Lewis Guarantee. Let's get back to the show with the voice of Arkansas Razorback baseball, Phil Elson, and Razorback football legend Matt Jones.
Go to the Lewis Automotive Hotline. Hi, Brian. What's going on today? What are you up to?
Hey, not much. How you doing?
Fantastic, especially now. Thank you.
Dale, I got a question for you. Did I hear you say that you didn't think the Memphis game would be close?
Depends on what you say close is. I don't think it's going to be a one-score game.
Okay. I just wondered.
My expectation. Are you all right there, Brian? Sounds like you're lifting something very heavy. Is there a new fence to be painted?
Yeah. I had to shift gears. I'm driving a little standard, so I'm sorry about that.
Your shift, huh? I've driven standards before. It didn't sound like it took that much effort though.
Well, to drive with one hand, hold the phone with another, and shift,
and have a drink in the other hand,
right? Yeah. So, I get that Taylor Green has kind of looked decent against Ole Miss, and Arkansas played Ole Miss tough. But then again, so did Kentucky. Kentucky played them just as close as Arkansas did. So I'm not really sold that Arkansas is there yet. And I just want to ask, because Auburn's undefeated, and so is Mississippi State. Do those teams have a shot at beating Arkansas, or what do you think about them?
Sure, they do. I think Auburn would. I'm not sold on Mississippi State yet. A couple of weeks they play Tennessee and A&M after that. I'll go by what I see there a little bit more. For Auburn, this Oklahoma game I think will tell a little bit more too, but I think Jackson Arnold's running could be a bit of an issue. And defensively they're better, but I do think at home in Fayetteville, I think the Hogs will be able to score against them. And I think they'll be able to score against Memphis. I would expect 10-point, 14-point win, maybe a little more than that. But if it's like you win the game, you win the game. That's fine. It's just and going on the road, I understand is tougher, but I do think this will be more than a touchdown that Arkansas wins. And then Brian's out. 877-377-6963 for the Lewis Automotive Hotline. See, Jeremy says, pump the brakes on Talon and the football program in general.
What are we saying that's
What were we
wrong?
pumping on the football program?
Neither one of us said they're going to win 10 games this year. What are we?
It's the usual selective listening. That's basically what it is. Talon Green could have a tremendous season this year, and the Razorbacks could still be 6-6. Okay, Jeremy says Memphis wins by 7, so that's all.
Talon Green's auditioning for Sunday. Y'all know that he's going to work on Sundays. He's auditioning. It's just where's he going to be? Is he going to be somewhere like Brady Cook, where he's on a practice squad, or is he going to be something like a Vince Young? He's in between that. I don't know where he's going to be. I'd actually say his arm strength mechanically is probably better than what Vince Young was coming. Vince Young had a real sidearm, didn't really throw. I'm not saying anything bad. Vince Young's a great quarterback, nothing bad like that. But when you're starting to break him down, Talon does a lot of the same things Vince Young can do.
Yeah, it's tough to catch once he gets out of the pocket.
He might be faster. Talon might be a 4.4 guy. I know I said I thought he was 4.5, and we'll see what he runs at the combine if the quarterbacks don't have to run at the combine if he does. But he could be those strides. He could be a 4.4 guy.
He's got over about a third of Arkansas's carries. He's had more carries than anybody else at the moment.
He won't make it through the season.
Right, that's the issue then.
Carries. We got to throttle back a little bit.
We had a couple of listeners earlier that thought that he would get injured, and we're pointing. Now, I think the hamstring issue in the Ole Miss game. I think that was just about fourth quarter and it being
fluids.
Hot. I don't think it was an injury necessarily, but that's also independent of the idea that you take that many hits. You are at risk of being hurt more than somebody who hangs back in the pocket and doesn't run. So, and that's an issue that Ole Miss has done with this year's team, or at least it feels like they will hand off to a running back more than letting the quarterback do some running. Fewer hits, I think, on their guys, although, of course, Austin Simmons got the ankle at the moment. But, like Brian's pointing to Ole Miss, barely beating – I wouldn't say barely, like winning by 7 against Kentucky. That told me that they can win a lower scoring game. They have the offense to open things up, but I think they were more into playing a game of controlling the ball a little bit more and playing a line of scrimmage style game in which the Razorback Ole Miss game was not that. In fact, here's one thing I wonder if the Hog defense is getting enough credit for. It is an Ole Miss team that against Kentucky ran pretty wild on them, and yet they couldn't run with success against Arkansas. In fact, they ran for just 3 yards a carry. And sacks were only one aspect. There was one sack. That was it. Lacey with a huge game. 47 yards on 17 carries. No great shakes. You know, and you know, the quarterback, Chambliss, ran for more yards than anybody else, but they did well against the run, or against running backs specifically. So maybe there is a little bit to build off of in terms of controlling the run, but they also didn't get enough of a push or enough pressure on Chambliss for it to make all that much of a difference. And I see Ole Miss winning at Kentucky by 7 more as that's a team that just won 2 games in the same league in 2 totally different ways, and that you should be afraid of that if you're any of the other opponents that will be facing Ole Miss the rest of the season. Pat says they didn't have to run. Well, they still did run. They still ran it 40 times. They ran it 40 times. They rushed. They passed it 30 times. So they still ran more than they passed, Pat. So they did have to run, in fact, in order for I think they did have to run in order for them to get the Razorback defense off balance a little bit. So just on the box score there alone, it shows that they certainly did feel that they had to run, and they did try to run more than they did throw. Super 64 guy on the Lewis Automotive Hotline. Super 64,
hey,
what's up?
Hey, Phil, Matt. Yeah, let me tell you guys this. This is interesting. Brian just called too. There's five of the top 7 teams, and what we call the stat man, our guy that does our stats the way we do it. None of those are Texas. Texas is number 30. But for all these people this year saying the SEC is weak, 5 of the top 7 teams statistically are in the SEC. Guess who's number 1? Both of y'all just take a wild guess. Won't be somebody you expect, I don't think.
Number 1, and in the
number
SEC?
1 in the country, in the country. It'll be a team that'll blow your mind when I tell you, but it's statistics that we do.
Miami.
No. It's an SEC team. It's Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt scores in 18. It's Vanderbilt. They have played the toughest schedule when you really look at it, and scored. And it's just so wild that Pavia guy, he ran his big mouth, but to this point, he's backing it up, So, I mean, who knows? I know that really motivated him. It was Nick Saban that said, the only place to go in the SEC that was easy to win was Vanderbilt. Not so anymore. But, I just wanted to tell you guys that. And for Brian, Texas is number 30, so they're not really that great of a team this year. And, who knows? We'll see how it plays out, but I wouldn't put it past us to beat them. But I'm really looking forward to Notre Dame, because guy that comes on after y'all, Zach, he's such a big Notre Dame, thinks we won't have a chance. Well, statistics show it different. But anyway, thanks a lot, guys. Y'all have a good one.
All right, I appreciate that. Super 64. I want to see his equations at some point. He was telling us about, I think he's got like rankings for the end of the season, power rankings of some sort. I remember he told us about that. Let's look at the Lewis Automotive Hotline here and see some of the reactions. Ben in Fayetteville pointing to 109 fumbles in 54 games. Is that the amount? That's the amount of games Sam's been the head coach. So 109 fumbles. Those wouldn't all be lost fumbles, but the ball touching the ground 109 times. That's over 2 times per game in that time. I mean, I'm assuming Ben went back and did all his research because he texted about that 2 days ago for the morning rush. That's a lot. That's one thing he would like to have Sam Pittman explain away.
That could be one of the answers to why you can't win 1-score games. Like if we're looking for, hey, he asked, hey, somebody help me, somebody tell me what. Well, there's one reason right there.
Mm-hmm. Carl in Fayetteville says we did to Ole Miss what Alabama A&M did to us. It's hard to run when you're blitzing every time. Well, they controlled the run pretty well. They actually did control the run pretty well. Probably going to have to do that against Notre Dame. Probably going to have to do that somewhat against A&M, certainly against Auburn. Going to have to control the run against Texas. I don't know. I saw a team that did well against the run on Saturday and did not control the passing game one bit. HR guy thinks Green's selling insurance and not playing on Sundays. Well, we got another, how many games left? 8 games left in the regular season? 9 games in the regular season? I don't know what you've watched the last 3. I'm not here telling you Taylen Green is going to be a starter in the NFL next year. But I am telling you that I'm seeing an improved quarterback who is better than last year, who I think has been the best player for the Razorbacks so far this season, and has all of the attributes that you need physically to play on Sundays. A lot of people have their minds made up already, though, based on what they saw last year and only last year. Because is there anything you've seen in the first 3 games this season that makes you think that Taylen Green is not improved? I was reserving my judgment until Ole Miss. And I see an improved quarterback, a much improved quarterback who has the same physical attributes and might even be a technically better quarterback in the terms of his fundamentals. So I don't exactly know what it is that you're watching at that point. And the wide receiver helps, sure, absolutely. But I'm seeing wide receivers in the NFL right now that were playing at Arkansas last year weren't get the ball very much last season either. Helps when the offensive line's blocking too. But are you literally just putting Green's improvement on the wide receivers being better and the offensive line being improved? That Taylen had nothing to do with it. That Taylen Green is only better only because of the guys around him and through nothing that he's done himself. I just don't know if I buy that at all. I think he's a better quarterback than he was last year. Mentally, emotionally, and even physically, I think he's better than he was last year. Before the break, reminding you about the Fence Man. Anytime that you are looking for special financing for a brand new fence and you're not ready to pay all at once, the Fence Man offers 18-month financing, and you secure your home or office and pay over time. Free quotes, custom designs, and the expertise to accomplish what most can't. 479-782-3936 or thefencemanAR.com. It's the Fence Man, and he ain't afraid of no work. Back to wrap up the show right after this.
This is halftime.
At Road Chevrolet in Van Buren, we know.
Thanks for watching us here on ESPN Arkansas. Download the brand new Hit That Line Now app in the Apple and Google Play stores. ESPN Arkansas, more than just radio stations.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
It's a dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, Sakhalin.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouse.
Some serious crappie. Nice speck.
We got crappie.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite white perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
Man, this takes me back to the 2000s.
All your Y2K favorites are back for only $3 or less. Only at Taco Bell.
Lewis Automotive has been serving Northwest Arkansas for over 75 years and just getting started.
Our knowledgeable sales team is here to find you the perfect vehicle to fit not only your lifestyle, but also your budget.
Our factory-trained service technicians keep your vehicle running at optimal level.
And if you're looking for genuine parts and accessories, our team has exactly what you need.
Relax in our comfortable lounge. And when your car's ready, we'll return it to you spotless.
Thank you for being a part of our story.
Come see us at Lewis Automotive Group, where you're more than a customer, you're family.
Does your Razorback closet need an upgrade? The University of Arkansas Game Day Collection is what you're looking for, only at Rhoback.com. They've custom designed the best hoodies, polos, and Q-zips for your school. Go check out this and more at Rhoback.com, and don't forget to use our link for 20% off. Use code RUSH25 at checkout on Rhoback.com for 20% off your first order. That's RHOBACK.com. 20% off all hoodies, joggers, and more with Rush 25. Rhoback, where action meets comfort.
Get 20% off on your first order with the code RUSH25.
You don't always win your first bet. That's why MyBookie has you covered. Use our code HOGS, H-O-G-S, and your first bet up to $500 is fully covered. If your pick doesn't hit, you get it right back with our Bet Back bonus. Go to MyBookie.ag and use the code HOGS to claim your Bet Back bonus. MyBookie's, where bettors win together, because bragging's good, but cashing in is better. And your first bet is fully covered. Use our code HOGS.
Must opt in during the bet to use the Bet Back bonus.
Dad, the driver looks dirty. Ew, yucky, Daddy.
Hey, don't worry, boys. That's what we do best. At My Dreams Mo Wash, we make homes, businesses, and even big industrial spaces shine like new.
So you can clean houses and big buildings?
That's right. Residential, commercial, or industrial. No job's too big or too small. Call My Dreams Mo Wash today at 479-763-5561 or visit mjmowash.com.
My Junior's Mobile Wash. One call cleans it all.
This is people by accident.
Call or text the Lewis Automotive Group hotline, 877-377-6963.
Gently crouched at the starting line. Engines pumping and thumping in time. The green light flashes, the flags go up. Churning and burning, they yearn for the cup. They deftly maneuver and muscle for rank. Burning fast on an empty tank. Reckless and wild, they pour through the turns. Their prowess is potent and secretly stern. As they speed through the finish, the flags go down. The fans get up and they get out of town. The arena is empty, except for one man still driving and striving as fast as he can. The sun has gone down and the moon is come.
You're listening to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones. Want to jump in the conversation? Call or text 877-377-6963. All guests join us on the Lewis Automotive Hotline, serving Northwest Arkansas for over 79 years. Home of the Lewis Guarantee. Now, here's Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
You got a big bass tournament on Sunday at Beaver Lake, right out of Prairie Creek. You can enter the this Beaver Big Bass Tournament on Beaver Lake just by going to Facebook, the 3D Roscoe, his that page, facebook.com/the3D Roscoe. You can also enter at Southtown Sporting Goods in Fayetteville or Hook, Line, and Sinker in Bentonville and in Rogers. And again, it is this Saturday, the Beaver Big Bass Tournament on Beaver Lake on Sunday, and hope you get out there and hope it goes well. Thank you, Roscoe, for letting us know about that. Brock and Harrison said he really was hoping Braylon would take a huge step, but thinks he's the same, if not worse, this year. Let's see, Russell, 106 yards, 4.1 a carry. It looked like he had a little bit going in the fourth quarter against Ole Miss, but I do like the two running backs and the disparate ways that they run. It's just I would expect that one of them, Matt, would have more carries than Green. I don't want to see Taylor Green leading the team in rushing or carries, as good as he is, because like you'd said, that's a guy you need to have on the field.
Well, you're doing wonders for recruiting right now. You know, I think Bobby Petrino is as smart as a football coach as any of them that have been around. And how do you get recruits? Hey, look what the quarterback for Bobby Petrino does in year two. He's setting the world on fire right now. So I think that's all part of their plan.
You know, when you're looking at Memphis, this is a program. I was reading their notes. They have the current record of games scoring 20 points or more. They've scored 20 or more points in 43 consecutive games, which is the longest current streak in FBS football. Arkansas has scored 20 or more in 10 straight games. So the thing is if this team is held under 20 against Memphis, then there's something wrong. I have a feeling you might be able to get into the 40s again, just like you had a chance to do that against Ole Miss. So hey, by the time we get to tomorrow and when we reconvene once again and we have Dudley Dawson and we have Brett Dolan, I think most of the conversation going back to Monday and Tuesday will have been over, just like last week. There wasn't too much talk about Arkansas State and War Memorial Stadium on Thursday, and certainly there wasn't any on Friday. I do think that issue is probably going to be put to bed for a good chunk of the rest of the season. The things that Hunter was talking about on Monday, those will end up getting brought up a few more times, I think, as the season goes on, because there's a little bit more to do with this year. Hey, tomorrow at Allen's Grocery at the Big Four-Way Stop in Summit, Yellville. $1 Champs Chicken Tenders tomorrow from 11 until 1. Big giveaways and super deals. And we're going to celebrate 71 years of Allen's Grocery and 4 generations at Yellville Summit tomorrow. And looking forward to being next to you for that, Matt. We had a great time last year, and truthfully, it was one of the more different and enjoyable remotes I've ever done. I'm sure it'll be the same tomorrow.
Yeah, looking forward to it. That was super cool last year. All those people, super nice. Looking forward to it.
Thanks for all of your texts and all of your calls. And remember, Ruskin and Zach coming up in just a few minutes. And the Eastside Liquor Halftime Podcast is already out. It's got our talk with Grant Hall and all of the highlights that C-Movie thought were worth throwing out there. For Christian and Matt, I'm Phil. That's halftime. Have a great rest of your Wednesday, and get up, get out, and get better.